And then we... Gotcha.
I gotcha.
I'm a butt.
Hopefully we've solved.
Yeah.
But psych.
Gotcha. Yeah. So welcome. Yeah, let's say the encoding computer was being a bit of a butt, so I got my size 13 wides ready to take care of it if it does it again.
Yep.
Yeah, I have that effect on people.
Yeah.
So, welcome everybody there. I think we got a couple of new folks, and we want to welcome there. And I think we may be having actually one of my former coworkers ghosting us tonight. Hi, Dave.
Oh, and in case it just so happens, we'll get this right out of the way. Hi, Mike. If you happen to be watching this weekend. So, any of you folks that are new, I'm BaronEngel, and this is my support. And I have to sneeze.
And he's allergic to this color.
Yeah.
This is the color my car is.
Yeah. This is a Caredwin, and Caredwin here basically runs a whole bunch of piles of technology that you can't see right now because it's all outside of the camera.
I push buttons.
Yeah, well, he pushes lots of buttons and makes things work.
Go to the freezer, get the box.
So, of course, last weekend we didn't have a stream. We did have a stream on Wednesday when...
Welcome, Fall Feathers.
Yes, when Clear Skies was here in the studio, and we had a wonderful stream all about the Rowan RPG.
I see a Clear Skies right there.
Yes. We were all at BabsCon last weekend and had an amazing time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll have a lot more to say about that. But Clear Skies ran. They had and Baron had a panel on Roan, the making of it, and all that stuff there. And then Clear Skies ran a couple of demonstration games, and he's a very good game master. We're going to have a lot to say about that.
Yes, yeah. For everybody, because I know like some of you were actually there at the panel. And I think some of you actually showed up and at least watched the play. Thank you for showing up. It was really great to have a good turnout. And we're really looking forward to doing the next big thing with Roan, the RPG.
Yep. And see that book cover right there? Guess who did the art on that? That kind of. Yeah. All right. So. First thing that usually happens on this show is that this guy when he gets into the studio, his brain is going screech, crunch, grind.
Yeah.
He needs brain lubricant. We have brain lubricant. So I'm going to do this.
Yes. Now we changed camera view to bar cam.
Yeah. And that is over.
But we're not raising the bar. It's bar cam.
Yeah. There we go. Whoops. I'll just put that back. There.
Ooh, and there we go.
Yeah.
Roller coaster cam.
Yeah. Exactly. And tonight we are going to make a tequila sunrise, one of the easiest drinks to make.
And a perfect drink for summertime.
Very tasty.
Yeah, it's getting warm around here now.
Yeah, it is. It's actually about 80 degrees inside the studio.
Yeah, it is a thick book, about 200 and, well, hey, Catspot, chime in on this. At least 260 pages, if I remember correctly.
There's something about that.
Yeah, it's a good body of work.
All right. So, to make a tequila sunrise, start off with a glass full of ice.
Oh, your drink strays.
There we go. And then grab yourself some good silver tequila.
Yes.
Milagro's good. If you have too much money, then you get Patron Silver, but this is just fine as a mixer. So I'm going to go right to about there. It's the skinny part of the glass. That's okay.
Yeah. It looks like more than it is because the ice is taking up a lot of volume.
Right. And I have some fresh Squoze orange juice. These were oranges about an hour and a half ago. Now they're not.
Yeah, some wonderful orange trees in
fresh squeezed matters.
Light and pulpy. I like mine lots and pulpy.
Yep, exactly. That's how you know it used to be an orange.
And
then to make the sunrise, grenadine, and just a nice, pretty little of that. And there. Oh, ain't that pretty? Ain't that pretty? Yeah, adds a little bit more sweetness. And something I like to do, just to kick it up a notch, is take a little bit of lemon, and I go squoze.
A little bit of citrus, just rounds it out so it's not too sweet.
And make it Pretty.
Yes, and presentation does matter with your cocktails.
Exactly. This is something special. We want to treat it like something special.
And the all-important straw.
Exactly.
Okay, now we can get down to business.
Exactly. You'll notice the horrible clanking and squeaking is going to fade into history.
A little bait.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. So last couple of weeks have been a little bit busy for you, but you still have some artwork to show you. Must have. So I'm going to do this.
Well, if nothing else, I actually got some sketching in during the Roan RPG.
And you'll see a couple of those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do we got here? We have this thing called art. Click. There we go. Let's get this thing out of the way.
And this was a Patreon reward for one of my patrons, Sura. And this is called Flaming Chestnuts, and she's a hybrid, and she loves to cook. And it must be really advantageous when you can levitate the skillet and basically generate your own heat source for cooking.
Right, as long as you remember to breathe.
Yes.
Good advice for anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we also have. How about this one? Wait.
Oh yes. Okay.
Backbones.
Yes. On to my Quest for Dreamscape. In the last stream we did, we were talking about how Scratch and Golden Bill have been getting very, very interested about my household and what exactly has been going on, and they want to know more about us. Well, Scratch has purchased herself some property down in Fort Trotterdale, a place called Silver Mirror Estate. And she's basically sending out letters. She's going to be doing a tour very soon. But in the meantime, she has basically said, saying, hey, for a few weeks, we're all going to get together. We're going to be working out parts of the performance. But you know what? We're going to be doing a lot of partying at the same time. So you want to come on down? Come on down. And Sundown is actually a professional writer. She writes for several magazines and newspapers in Manhattan. And she's gotten an invite, and she's quite excited about it. And she loves doing the Batman thing on her editor.
I'm Batman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then the quote, sculptor, unquote.
Yes, this is Marble Vein.
Yeah.
And of course, I know there's one person in the stream who very, very, very much loves Marble Vein. And she also got a letter from Scratch. And she's going to be going down to Fort Trotterdale. And I won't spoil stuff, but there's going to be more letters going out and more ponies are going to get interesting things in the mail.
Indeedy. All right, and we also have, let's get right to this. We'll go to the other stuff, but first this. These two have figured.
Yes. You guys may remember in the last stream that I had the Patreon reward I did for Clear Skies of Octavia and Vinyl Scratch in the
Hello, Octavia. Good timing.
Yeah, your timing is excellent. Of Octavia and Vinyl in the bathtub. Well, some people ask me, well, how do these shots happen? Well, sometimes they happen because of Patina and going out there, and she's always trying to find you guys new, exciting, and dynamic images for me to have to draw. And I decided to do a little sketch of just how sometimes those images come about, and basically the few seconds after the picture is taken.
Yeah, so I imagine that once in a while you get a little letter from people saying, stop that. All right, so now, Cutie Mark Crusaders all grown up.
Yeah, this was one of the sketches I actually did while sitting around the table in the game room at BabsCon while Robert, or Clear Skies, was running the game. Basically, I was initially going to be in the game unless we had more people come in who want to play the game for the first time. I said, okay, I'm going to bow out. But I was kind of sitting around there, so I said, well, I had this idea in my head about drawing basically the Cutie Mark Crusaders as anthro and as more late teenagers. So that's what I did, and this got a heck of a lot of feedback, so I decided to do the other ones. And then they all promptly sold. And this is, of course, is Sweetie Belle, showing off the swimsuit that Rarity made for her.
I say Rarity has excellent taste in swimsuits.
Yes.
Nothing so garish as a bikini.
No.
And then we also have...
we have a backstage up there.
Yes, that's the one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
And, and this is, of course, Scootaloo. Now, this one was kind of interesting because when I was sometimes I'll have an image flash in my head. I go, okay, I know what I need to draw. Sometimes it'll flash in my head, and then it'll start filling out, taking more form. And there'll probably be like additional information will come in. And at least in the case with the Scootaloo's image, what happened was I had this image in my head of Patina pushing out this big screen TV and then turning on this bit of video and then walking away. And if you've read the description on the DeviantArt posting or what I put up on Tumblr, there's a little bit more dialogue going on with this one.
Just a wee bit. And then we have Babs, who seems to have gotten a little bit more combative over the years.
She struck me as being one of those, take no, BS, Manhattan types, and
you want a piece of this?
You want a piece of you want some? I'm walking here.
I'm trotting here.
Yeah, so I can see her, when she's not, cutting people's hair,
messing it up.
Yeah, messing it up and getting in like mixed martial arts. And I actually am very happy with how the hoof boots came up with it. I wanted to have them padded. One, so she kicks something, she doesn't crack her hoof, and B, being padded so she doesn't cave in people's heads.
Doesn't crack a skull. Yeah.
Right. And all 4 of those went up on my Smudgemarks Engel Works website, the eShop, this week, and promptly sold. And actually, during the course of the evening, I'm going to be asking you guys some questions about that, how we want to handle this, because I want to make sure people all have an opportunity.
No problem.
Yep.
There we go. No, I think Babs would be a little bit better sport than Ronda Rousey. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She may be a damn good fighter, but she needs to work on her personality a bit. All right, and now we have getting towards the role-playing game.
Yep. So this was another one of the sketches I drew while Robert Clear Skies was running the Roan campaign at BabsCon, and I can imagine if you were a unicorn, it'd be kind of fun. You could move the figures around on the map and everything, and then be able to make noises.
And these are the characters that played in the game.
And now some of these, like you, I can send the file to. If you were one of the gamers, if you happen to be in the stream, and you were playing one of these characters, and I have not yet sent you your file, get in touch with me, through DeviantArt or Twitter or something like that. Get in touch with me, and I will make arrangements to make certain you get a 300 DPI TIFF file of your character bus sent to you, so you can use it on your character sheet, or everywhere you want. You can play around with this as long as it's not for commercial use. It's free to play around with. But I just sketched these out. These were basically all 6 of the players at the game. And it was a kind of a fun little quick study. I got a chance to get a very quick look at their character sheets, ask them a couple questions, and then basically drew their characters based off the information I got.
Yep. Cat's Paw was Bronze Shield, who is upper left. I was upper center. That was Garat, but call him Gary. Yeah, let's see. We had Azure Strike and Cold Cathode.
Steel Prism.
Who should be here? Let me see. Are you here, Steel Prism?
Yeah, Steel. Are you in the stream?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll bring this back up when Steel gets here.
Right, and I've already sent the file to him. He knows he's got a file waiting for him.
And of course we have James Bones. Who was a Canadian. We'll tell you the story of what happened there.
Yeah. There was an awful lot that happened. There was, like I said, we have a lot to talk about.
Indeed. But first, we're going to we need to get our duty out of the way.
This is correct. You said duty. duty.
And see those guys? See those guys right there? That's University Art. These are Baron's sponsors. They contributes just about everything that he uses in his art studio. Traditional media. They are also a very high-end framing shop that if you have some serious art that needs serious framing, that's not going to turn it yellow over the years because, they didn't use acid-free this or that. Again, they have handled original Nobel Prizes. They have handled an original Rembrandt. They've handled original Picassos.
Yep, I've handled original Albert Dürer.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are in Northern California, they have shops in Sacramento and Redwood City and San Jose. Baron worked at
San Jose.
At the San Jose one for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mike. Mike's the manager there.
Yes, Mike quite often ghosts the stream, so we occasionally say, if you're there, thanks for the sponsor and support.
Yeah,
Mike.
absolutely. So thank you very much to University Art. You folks rock. And with that, let's make some more art.
Exactly. Now, I told folks earlier today when I made the post that this was going to be something I haven't done in a while, which is an all request night.
All requests all the time.
Yep, and of course, I will restate the rules very, very quickly. One, don't ask for requests of your OC. That's called a commission. Contact me about that. Yeah, they do cost.
Yeah, so that he can pay his rent.
Exactly.
That's kind of a cool thing.
This is what I do for. Oh, actually, that's one thing I want to do before I go any further.
You can ask for his OCs.
Yes. In the last few days, I have had several, about 5 or 6 actually, new patrons on Patreon come in and pledge. And if by chance you are one of those people in the chat tonight, I want to take a moment to say thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Suzu. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back.
Fizzykins. Is Fizzykins?
Yes, we've seen Fizzykins.
Okay, Fizzykins. So basically, because of your support, I'm able to do what I do here. I don't have a day job.
This is his day job. He's at work right now. Yeah. He's on the clock.
Exactly. I basically, when I drive over here, I can log the miles.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this is work for me. So I want to thank you guys. Because of your support through Patreon, it happens.
All righty.
Okay.
So are we ready to open up the requests?
Yeah, open up requests. Like I say, keep it safe for work. Don't make it your OC. And if I don't happen to take your request, it's nothing personal. Either there's not enough time.
It's just what catches his
right.
fancy.
It's very what's going to be setting off switches here in my head that aren't being a result of this. So let's see what you got. Round
right.
1.
1, 2, 3, go. Yes, and actually, Hyphen. Let's say that we're going to be looking at other ways to show Baron, the love here. But there's this thing underneath the chat window called Stream Tip, big blue button. You should click it.
If you like what you're seeing here tonight,
all right.
throw $1 or $2 in there.
Pre-coffee Celestia, rarity measuring spike in non-anthroform. Rumiko Hasagawa. It doesn't have to be Pwn, by the way.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be Pwn. But Octavia's an assassin.
Oh yeah. Calvados tasting whiskey with Celestia. Actually, Frank, we have one of those.
Yes.
So of course, if Baron wants to draw it again, that's fine. Rough Rider Teddy Roosevelt Ponified. Yes, quite right.
Okay.
Twilight walks in on Celestia during her pole dancing practice. Zakora, we have more Rumiko, we have Rosemary doing cosplay. Octavia as El Kabong.
Okay, I have to. That one has caught my eye. Octavia. If we did Octavia's assassin, what type of assassin?
Is she a ninja? Is she a James Bond? Is she a steampunk assassin?
Is she Assassin's Creed?
We thought maybe a Venice, Italy during the Medici era. All right, so yes, Auntie, he's drawn several Nightmare Moons. All right, so we're narrowing it down now. We have Octavia as an assassin. What era? Octavia Ninja versus Violet Pirate. I like that.
Well, that might be a possibility.
Yeah.
I am
a character assassin.
No. She's not a journalist.
With a cello bow sword. Yeah. Yeah, maybe a musketeer type assassin. She works for Foul Richelieu.
Could be. Cello of a case gun. Okay. Could be do like a gangland. Chicago.
Hey, you talking to Octavia? Yeah, she plays sweet, sweet music on her film.
Poisoner.
Yeah.
Yep. Music critic.
Actually, I think I'm kind of liking the idea of Octavia as like a 30s Al Capone type with the pinstripe zoot suit because she's got the style for it.
Right. No, Octavia.
And of course, she always carries around her violin case. Plays some sweet, sweet music.
Exactly. So, I'm leaning towards 1930s. Unless Octavia Melody chimes in the next few minutes, the person who...
Right. Okay. 5,
4,
3,
2, one.
It's draw
None.
time.
All right, we go. All right, and now we switch glasses
Very good.
so people don't yell at me.
Yes, we take care of Baron by nagging the hell out of him. Yeah, it's a machine gun case a la El Mariachi.
Yeah.
With Antonia Banderas, the most beautiful Spanish woman.
Okay, we just got a green light from. Okay, next question for folks. Show style or anthro? Octavia, I want your 2 cents on that one.
An assassin of bad musicians. I'd be in trouble.
Why, you don't play the accordion?
Nobody plays the accordion, they wield it.
Mm-hmm. Anthro.
That sounds like a pretty clear mandate. Yes, they do a 5-second countdown on stream with 15-second delay. That's because we're bastards.
Anthro. Wait a few more seconds here. Anthro works. Okay. Besides that, it makes it easier to draw the equipment.
Okay, maybe we'll see you a little bit later. Try a little bit later on in the evening.
Yeah.
Catch you later.
Be safe.
Because, like Clear Sky says it, Anthro Octi is smexy.
Yes. Very smexy. Okay.
Oh, blast. E-L-A-W-S-T. Blast.
I need a little bit more.
Lubricant.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should start doing? Putting up a poll. So let your Patreon folks decide what the cocktail of the week is.
Yeah, we should.
You know, so how do we lubricate Baron's brain? You know,
Got it.
The Cosmo.
I'm always for Cosmos.
Do we do a sidecar, or do we use some 90 weight? You know, for those hot summer days.
We're gonna get more of those. That's for sure.
Hey, Rail. Been a while since we've seen you. Actually, where was it? All right. With lots of pompadour. All right. So for folks who are new, yes, it looks very light right now. Baron's construction lines are extremely light, and if I cranked up I can crank up the contrast, but then it would look like his hand had disease. Oh, what the heck? Let's give your hand disease. But it darkens up very quickly. So
Yes.
Let's see here.
I do my under drawings light so I can erase them easily, so it's not a problem. I need to keep adjusting that elbow. There we go. That actually works, and it's like something to be attached.
I will click on this thing right here, and when this thing gets clicked on,
see there. This is one of the beauties is that
like that.
well, probably actually if it was a bar, it wouldn't be a bar. It'd be a Colt Modder. I do a Colt Modder rifle. Which was a semi-auto version of the BAR, which was sold to law enforcement. And Colt and a whole lot of other folks had some really great ideas that they wanted to offer the U.S. military for the bar automatic rifle. Things like, quick change barrels, pistol grip, a whole bunch of stuff. Even some experimentations in belt-fed mechanisms. And the U.S. military just wasn't interested in any of it. So, if you go to Poland or Belgium or Sweden, they had versions of the BAR that were like, this is really cool. We didn't get that. Well, the Colt Modder actually has some of that stuff. So let's see, do I have enough room on the paper? Because the BARs are huge. Even allowing for maybe she's an Earth Pony, maybe a skosh bit bigger than, say, vinyl is. That's going to be a little good.
Wasn't the BAR was that used by Bonnie and Clyde or against them?
That was used against Bonnie and Clyde. And actually what it was they're pretty certain it actually was Colt Modders that were used. But yeah, they just basically dumped their 20-round magazines into them along with Thompson submachine guns, Remington No. 8 police models of the semi-automatic sporting rifle, and an awful lot of Remington 11 semi-auto shotgun fire. And they riddled the 1932 Ford they were driving with about 250 bullet holes.
They turned it into Swiss cheese.
Well, Texas Ranger Frank Hammer gave very simple instructions.
Take them out. If they resist, take them out.
If you are required to fire until your gun is empty. That was his orders.
Because they were that dangerous.
And so everyone had to fire, and they fired until their guns were empty.
Just adjusting the color on the cocktail camera. White balance was off. Everything was blue. There we go. All right. So, let's talk about Roan.
Roan, yes.
Yes.
Roan.
Roan, so they had it's Clear Skies and Robert and Cat's Paw were on a panel that actually went long because people were so interested.
Yes.
It was, all about the development of Roan, a little bit about things to do and not do on Kickstarters.
Mm-hmm.
It was rule number 1: talk to a tax guy, and then do what they say. Rule number 2: everything always costs more than you think it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that went over really well. And then later on, we got into the gaming room and took over one of the big round tables in the corner, and ended up with half a dozen players.
Really interested players too.
Yeah, exactly. It was as pickup groups go. I mean, this was a good one.
Yeah.
Everybody was engaged. Nobody was trying to step on anybody else's character or hog the spotlight or anything like that.
Also, too, people seem to have grokked the game system pretty quickly, which was a good sign for the game.
Right. Yeah. And that's actually something that again.
Hey, Copper Cheetah.
Hey, Copper. Haven't seen you for a bit.
Yeah, actually, that's right, Cato. There was Bonnie and Clyde did have one bar themselves. They had a cut down version, but she never got a chance to use it. She died in the salvo. Anyway, continue.
Oh, I was also curious as to whether you posted Pegasi Twi.
No, I have not posted that yet. I'll need to get around to it. Last week was an awful lot of prepping for the con, and so I'll be doing some of that stuff
a little bit later on.
Yeah, maybe get some of that taken care of tomorrow, actually. Of which, hopefully, for folks who are my patrons on Patreon, hopefully you're enjoying the current dream arc that is going through. You are starting to see the beginnings of Reaper Bloom in my dreamscape.
All that stuff that makes H.R. Giger blush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, we ended up with about half a dozen folks. Again, Cat's Paw was had a character, Bronze Shield, who was a very prim and proper detective.
Mm-hmm.
I played Garat, also Gary, who was used to be a smuggler, but he'd gone legit, and had an ongoing. The cops know him. Sometimes he'll give them a tip, and sometimes they'll strong arm him a little bit, type of thing. We had a Canadian, basically Diamond Dog type, investigator who was on loan to investigate because of the setup of the story here. We'll get into that in a minute. We had a couple of army guys, one of which who was an officer, and the other one was the poor son of a bitch who was his driver and mechanic, and
Who got stuck in this thing.
and whose vehicle kept breaking down. Yeah.
So, I'm just here to fix the vehicle and drive it. What am I doing in a firefight?
Yeah, let's see. And then there was Cold Cathode.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was a mechanic.
It was a mechanic, yeah, right. Yeah, so let's see. 2 army guys. Me.
Steel Prism was the officer, I believe.
The officer, yeah, okay, I think that's everybody.
Uh-huh.
And the basic story was that there had been these weird murders going on up in Canada.
Very gruesome too.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously somebody was a real psycho. One of those things is like, what color's the walls? Red. What color did they used to be? Can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And then those murders stopped, but they started up again in Amber City, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically Chicago. And so there had been one, and so the Canadians sent him down as a sort of liaison, saying, "Okay, here's what we know about the crimes." And that's right, we had the bodyguard.
That was Azure Strike.
Azure Strike, yes.
And it was his client who had gotten turned into basically a Jackson Pollock.
Yeah, his client got waxed, and the reason was that he told the bodyguard to wait outside. That was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went. So the law enforcement types, went in. Yeah, again, everything had been painted. They'd been painted a very odd color. There was one witness, so it was just this quivering, shaking wreck. kept talking about the cobalt blue mare, the cobalt blue mare. She's more real than real. Oh my God, that's weird. And they found this weird, little red gem wedged into the floorboards. And while they were investigating that, somebody started sniping at the investigators.
Not cool.
And the witnesses. Not so good, which is what drew in the military guys, because their truck had broken down up in the same neighborhood. Then the chase was on to track down the sniper. But the sniper got away. So Bronze Shield, who again Catspaw's character is the investigator. Well, what evidence do we have? Well, there's this ruby-looking thing. Well, she knew somebody who was a smuggler and a fence, and that would be Gary. He had taken streetwise with a specialty in the black market. When you have a specialty skill, you get to throw more dice, and it costs less. And said, okay, I'm going to go. She said, I'm going to go. He said, I'm going to go look this one up because he should know these things. Very prim and proper.
Yes.
So when they got to Gary, to where Gary hangs out, he owns a little speakeasy. Said speakeasy was what happens at speakeasies more than anything else? Brawls. And they came in just as a couple of thug ponies were going out through the window. Mm-hmm. Gary is a specialist in hoof-to-hoof combat. Mm-hmm. And one of the things about this system is that you earn style points for doing cool things or doing things that stick to your character, even though it makes it less likely your character is going to, quote, win. If you're true to your character, you get style points. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that the game master can try and bribe you to make a foolish but dramatic move. And say, if you do, I'm going to give you these style points. And then later on, you can cash them in to steer the story in a direction that you think is interesting, or to boost your dice rolls.
Mm-hmm. Very much like the fame points from the James Bond role-playing game.
Right. It's all about style. This game is it's not simulationist. It is cinematic. It's all about the cool moments.
Walking away slowly from that explosion.
You got it. So so the brawl was going on, and then the sniping begins again. Oh crap! And by the time, this time, with everybody there, the snipers. One of them got his butt kicked. The second one actually got shot. The one that was coming down the stairs. That was not so much a sniper but a shotgunner, and then the third sniper got captured. That one started behaving very, very oddly. When questioned, why are you here? Who's your? Oh, it's the mare in blue. Oh, the mare in blue. The cobalt blue. She says things. She tells me to do things. I must do them. I must do them. Yes. Got crazier and crazier and crazier, and finally, more or less, his head exploded. Not literally, but could have been. Had a heart attack and died. Mm-hmm. And then these weird runes appeared on his body and the whole bit. And then the chase went off to a sewer. Mm-hmm. A great big one, big enough to drive into, and
think of them.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, that's actually a very good kind of analogy, almost.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a place that folks knew about, and that was where the meeting was supposed to be. I was supposed to deliver it to her there, and it turns out this is all about the jewel. No, you shouldn't have it. Nobody should have it. Turns out there was a crazy family up in Canada that they were attached in some way to this gem. So what was it? The something of the dragon. I don't want to say soul.
And dragons are a very important thing in the
Yeah.
Rowan RPG.
Yes,
world.
they are mystical, magical creatures.
Mystical, magical, and you don't want to mess with them.
Yeah, and so and everybody was off to the sewers. It was a nice car chase, kind of like the one in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
And I was earning and spending style points just as fast as I earned them.
Yeah, it was a good thing that Robert Clear Skies was handing those things out pretty fast because man, were people pulling off cinematic moves left and right.
Well, that's how the game's supposed to.
Oh
go.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't be stingy on handing out the cinematic points, or people can't do the spectacular, fly through the side window and kick the driver out of the vehicle while grabbing control of the truck before it careens off the cliff type, maneuvers.
Yep. So, Seth, these are Hammer and Anvil brand shotgun mics. They're not very expensive. They are about $75 each on Amazon. If you go to my DeviantArt page, caretowin.deviantart.com, my most recent journal details all of the equipment we have here and what we do.
Yep.
How we do it. I'm not saying that we necessarily do it better than anybody in particular, but this is what we do.
And it works and it's consistent.
Right. Yeah. And so anyway, the chase was on, and Bronze Shield was plinking at the tires with her pistol, trying to shoot out the tires.
Very cinematic.
Exactly, and that was starting to have an effect, and we were whomping along in the newly repaired deuce and a half truck that
cool cathode.
That cold cathode and steel prism were basically the army guys were able to provide for the chase. My character again, he was all about hoof to hoof combat and a big hammer. And I'll give you an example. I'd saved up some of my style points, and the road was rough. With the road, bang, make a driving roll, avoid that huge pothole. Bam, hit a huge bump. And so I took every style point I had, and I held it in front of Robert, and I said, "What I want to have happen is that when it hits the biggest bump, as the rear wheels goes over the bump, it launches me into the air, and then I do a death from above and land on the truck right in front of us." And Robert just like, sure, why not? That's the battle cry of a Ronin game master is sure, why not? And there was much hammering of heads. We ended up in at the entrance to the sewer and confronted the Cobalt Mare. And I think they ended up dropping a portcullis on her.
Yeah, and that just made her angry.
And then she turned into an eldritch horror.
One of my designs.
Yeah, exactly. There's these things called ratavarians, which are basically magic-tainted rats that absorb way too much chaotic magic and way too much negative emotion due to the recent wars. And had again basically turned into eldritch horrors, and again they keep consuming more magic and more ponies because it's the only thing that eases their pain. And she was basically sort of an alien queen.
Yeah, her John Carpenter's the thing.
Right, and we just completely opened up on her, and she didn't get off a single attack. It was kind of cool.
No, because you just kept on hammering on her, so she couldn't get any.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, dropped a portcullis, golf from the head off, standing on top, jumping up and down the portcullis, and while other characters go bang, 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 empty their guns into her head, and finally took her down. So that was the adventure, and so we later found out that essentially there was this mystical, necklace of many jewels that had been broken up, and the individual jewels had been showing up on the black market. And people that were buying them were getting wasted, and that was what brought us into the adventure. Was one of these jewels moving through Amber City.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's Clear Skies right there. So you can correct me if I'm misremembering anything, but because Catspaw was there and Clear Skies ran it. But he did an excellent job. If you're ever at a convention and he's doing a demo of the Roan game, it's very quick to learn. Character generation is a little complicated, but not too bad. And once you actually get into the game, it's just you just go, and the game system, it's the Ubiquity system, does not get in the way.
Yeah.
Again, we had almost everybody there at the table, was
Never
playing
played the game.
Yeah, first time playing the game, and we had a couple people that had not done pen and paper role playing ever, and they just fell right into it.
Yeah.
And that says wonders about the game system and about a good game master.
Of which, Clear Skies, I have had a couple people send me notes and requests asking whether or not we're going to be doing a Roan RPG similar type thing at BronyCon for the game session. So just keep that in mind for BronyCon in August. Okay, I think that's enough.
All right. So again, if you get the chance to do it, if you get the chance to play Roan at a convention when Clear Skies is there, seize the opportunity.
Or just if you want to buy the game.
Well, you could do that. Yeah.
The game is easy. It's designed to be picked up by people who haven't played RPGs before. It's very first-time player friendly.
RoanRPG.com. And it's also available at drivethrurpg.com as a downloadable PDF. It's not expensive, and it's a very styling game. It's got a lot of Baron art, and Catspaw did all the layout and stuff like that there. And there's a few artists here who contributed to it.
Yeah, there was over 24 artists that were involved in that project. It was a real team effort, and people really came together and put their best foot forward. And we're very excited about doing the expansion next year.
Yeah, the expansion is going to be a bit different in character. It's going to be a little bit more war-gamey, tactical.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're still trying to keep that kind of feel of, Kelly's Heroes, where Eagle is there, Unglorious Bastards.
Oh, yeah, very themey.
Yeah, it's very themey, and it's not Advanced Squad Leader.
Yeah. Time Lord, actually, tabletop games are having something of a renaissance. Between really successful shows on the internet like Tabletop from Will Wheaton, to the fact that Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition is out, and it's much better than 4th edition. There's a lot of people say that it's the best edition of D&D yet, and having played D&D since it was called Men in Magic, which was a supplement to the War Game Chainmail. Back in the mid-'70s, that's when I got my start in D&D. I can say that I have not run it yet, but it has the promise of being the best edition of D&D yet. Hello, Cat's Nightmare.
You keep jumping around. Where are you?
Yeah.
There you are. Thank you.
Exactly.
I need to make sure you Octavia's Ming correctly on this. Yes. Okay, it's going that direction. All right. Well, actually, it falls back in your direction we want. Do I want that way or this way? Let me think about that. I know I want this going down like this.
Yeah. Yeah, Cats. One of the folks who worked on a little bit on 4th edition, Matthew Colville, also has a very good channel, by the way, for how to game master well, how to be a good player, the whole bit. Very intense fellow, but very informative. Insists up and down that they were not trying to make it more MMO-like, but that was how it was perceived, and that's how it played out. And again, that's it happens in the reading, not in the writing. So
yep. And having been an artist who's worked on a project, and then say, well, yeah, this is what we were looking for, and then everyone looks and goes, oh, well, you meant this, didn't you? It's like, how in the world did you get that idea?
Yeah, 5th edition is. Wizards of the Coast is very well aware that Pathfinder was eating their lunch. Pathfinder was selling better than D&D 4th edition. Mm-hmm. And what Pathfinder did is they went into a direction that's more crunchy. That's from Number Crunchy. In that you have a whole lot more options. It was more tactical. There's more combat maneuvers, more spells, more, more. Which gives you just this huge amount of customizability, but it can be intimidating for newcomers. And again, I've played a little bit of Pathfinder organized play. They have a Pathfinder Society play, and it's very wargamey in that it's about winning. At least the people that show up for Pathfinder Society. D&D 5th edition is much more cinematic. They said, okay, well, if Pathfinder has put the sliders all the way to the left, we're going to put them more toward the right just to make a differentiation. Mm-hmm. And it's simpler system. There's a lot more. The game master should just do what's cool, as opposed to there's a rule for everything. They've eliminated a lot of the complexity. All the bonuses and penalties and +4, -3. Now double it, now add a 2. Has been reduced to you either have advantage, in which case you roll 2d20 and take the best, or you have disadvantage. You roll 2d20 and you take the worst. And it makes things flow much, much faster. They've finally gone to a spell point system, the way that everybody does in their house rules. They said, okay, fine, spell points. And they've done a good job of leveling out the classes. Your first level characters are not these fragile little, porcelain teacups the way they used to be. 20th level characters are not going to lay waste to the entire world. They've flattened the power curve a bit. They've flattened the skill curve and the equipment curve. Like +3, whatever, is legendary when it used to be a +5, that sort of thing.
Yes, it is a cuts compensator. You are correct. Colt monitor rifles came with cuts compensators. That was one of the things that, once again, Colt was really trying to convince the U.S. military, you might like this. It might make it more fun to shoot.
Yeah, but procurement is a strange thing.
Yes. Oh, this was during the Great Depression when U.S. military budgets were pretty non-existent.
Yeah, exactly, Seth. Seth is commenting at if you have people who like to roll dice, early and often, roll ROLL playing. Again, a little bit crunchier, a little bit more war gamey, and that's not a judgment call there.
Nope.
It is a totally valid way to do a role playing game. Then Pathfinder is definitely the better system, and oh my God, it's got so much material for it. Yeah, their house campaign setting, the world of Goliron, is very well thought out. Again, tons and tons of supplements, tons and tons of prepackaged, campaign, campaign settings and adventures. Pathfinder's good. It's just different.
Yeah, and it may not be as different that you're interested in.
Yeah, well,
it's good to have choices.
Exactly.
Options.
Yeah, the one thing that will insist upon is that Pathfinder is much less newbie friendly than 5th edition.
Yes.
They also get, by the way, Wizards of the Coast give away the basic, what they call the basic rules of 5th edition. You can go download it at wizards.com. And again, it's 90% of what you get in the player's handbook, minus the artwork and the flavor stuff. So you could. Really, everything you need to run D&D 5th edition you can get for free. Without even having to resort to piracy or anything like that. It's there. Here it is. Go get it.
Yeah. Well, they want to encourage you to start playing the game, so you will go out and buy or download the official PDF versions and stuff like that they charge you for. The first one is free.
So Seth, what type of tea you doing? I've really gotten into chais lately. So we're coming up on the first hour break in a few minutes. That's right. So for folks who are new, we go for about an hour, and then because it is really critically important for artists to take breaks to stretch, be biological, etc., particularly for Baron, who had a broken collarbone not too long ago.
And I threw out some discs a few years back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really important to take our breaks. So every hour on the half hour, we take about a 5-minute intermission. Go refill your drink. Go get rid of your previous one. But that's still a few minutes to go yet.
Yeah, we got 7 minutes left. I want to get this to at least have a good stopping point before. I won't be able to get around to shading this one, but we'll get to this point where you can go, yeah, that's Octavia.
No, actually, Time Lord, I think it contains. No, it's much more complete than that. It's all there. It's all there. Yeah.
Why does it sound like that one Priggo spaghetti sauce? It's in there.
Yep. Hey, Veteran, didn't see you come in. And hello, Jarrell.
Hey, Jarrell. Oh, by the way, not the Clear Skies. Thank you very much for the PDF digital art book documents you gave me. I am going through and reading them. I am getting some insight that hopefully will help me with my digital art.
So let's see. Mincemeat. That is fine. Actually, one of the best chais I've found is from Stash. Stash makes is a very affordable tea. You want the double spice chai, which they've really kicked up all the aromatic ingredients in the chai, like cinnamon and cardamom. They've added a little bit of black pepper too, and it's just incredibly aromatic, and it makes a wonderful, wonderful cup of chai. Let's see. No, and it's about 12 to 15 cents per tea bag, so it's very affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm going to take a quick scroll through here. I want to see who was here, because I can only see about half of you, because there's so many of you.
Glad you can make it, Webster.
See if there's anybody else that's new. Rika, are you new? If so, welcome. If not, welcome back.
Yes.
Or ooh, Rika, ooh. Ooh, Rika, ooh. And let's see who else. The Radish. I think you've been here before, but if not, welcome, welcome. Here we go. Yeah, we remember Webster.
Oh yeah, you just can't make it very often.
Yeah. So what are you doing models of? We got some. We have some people who are deeply into into models. Like I know that Cato and Baron both serious model builders.
Well, I used to be in the day. I don't do it anymore because I don't have the space, and I can either do artwork or I can build models. But in my day, I used to compete a lot in both static model and flying model competitions in the Los Angeles basin. I was a member of the Circle Burners. I competed at to tell you how old I am. I competed in the 1977 World Nationals model competition at Riverside, California, and it was actually quite of a first kind of buddy trip with my dad out on the roads. It was him and I, traveling to Riverside, and I remember it was really a big thing. I was kind of struggling over whether I wanted to do it or not because it was this movie that was coming out in the theaters the week I was gone called Star Wars. And it looked like it might be a good movie and I might like it. And my sisters got to see it first before I did, and they just razzed me about it on the phone horribly when I talked to them.
Yeah, instead of being generic, the little nudge, don't forget the cello case.
Oh, yes. Well,
to hold your beautiful musical instrument that should play sweet, sweet melodies.
And definitely with Colt monitor rifle, you are going to need a cello case because a monitor, like I said, is not a small weapon. It's over 4 feet long.
Yeah, and it's not a takedown weapon either.
No.
Well, I mean, I think the stock was removable, but
some models.
Yeah.
Some models. Not all of them, though.
Yeah, Lars, if you're ever out here, you have to go to a Little Saigon here in San Jose. We have got the best banh mi sandwich places and pho noodle places.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're so good and they're so affordable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you get this huge bowl of rice noodles, filled with with all kinds of bits of the cow that you don't really want to know where they came from, but they're very, very tasty. It's the size of a bucket, and it costs like $6, and you get this giant,
sandwich.
These sandwiches that are 1.5 feet long, and the bread has been out of the oven for about 10 minutes, and it's got this wonderful spicy pork with thin sliced jalapenos on it, and they're so good, and they're $4.
Yeah. And Vietnamese coffee.
Oh yes.
Vietnamese coffee. Very tasty. That case opened up there behind her. And I'll put some shell casings on the ground.
Yeah. Well, Lars says you can blame Josh Dean for a lot of stuff. You met Josh Dean?
I believe I have.
BaronEngel.
Yeah.
Con chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been out here a couple times.
Well, I met him at BaronEngel.
Yeah.
Last year at BaronEngel, it was just kind of a very, very hi. Oh, you.
Because I was like, no, I want to watch Desperado again, thinking about the guns and cases.
Yes.
Yeah. And like I said, I like Desperado. And I say Antonio Banderas, the most beautiful Spanish woman around. He was good in that. And of course, Quentin Tarantino was in that and got his brains plastered all over the wall because anytime Quentin Tarantino's in a movie, he makes sure that his character gets wasted.
Yeah.
So.
Do that. Erase that.
Oh, and Cheech Marin's in it. He's the
Yes.
bartender.
Yes.
Because nothing bad ever happens to bartenders.
Yes. The bartender always makes it.
Right? Right. Cato just recently got a model of the French submarine cruiser Cirque. In 1 to 350, which means it's about 2 feet long.
Yes.
It's a good sized submarine. France is trying so hard to have a major navy.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're making it. They're doing a better job than the Royal Navy, unfortunately, at the moment.
Yeah. Well, that's. Well, the Royal Navy, I think they're building another aircraft carrier.
They're building another aircraft carrier, but Lord Almighty, they need to get some staffing issues taken care of, and they need to get some support ships to go along with their carriers. It's not good having some carriers sailing around all by a little lonesome.
The Falklands War should have been a big wake up to them.
Well, it was for a few years, but that's like now almost ancient. That's over a generation ago now for them.
Yeah, and their ships aren't any newer.
Nope.
So like I said, it's just, if Argentina with its, huge air fleet of like half a dozen Super A-10 and nothing else, and, 3 or 4 Exocet missiles and nothing else, as they can, sink one ship and cripple another.
Yep.
And get close enough, to do so.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a wake-up call that, your Navy needs help.
Yep. Yeah. You got it. All right. It is 6:30, so I'll tweak with this one more at home and everything, get a bit more shaded out and everything. But one Octavia. The biggest thing was actually getting the rifle in there because I had to do a little bit of homework before I could start on that. So that took a few minutes, but that is basically a Colt monitor.
Yeah, there we go.
And they're kind of cool looking.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are going to take our first 5-minute break. And
More brain lubricant.
Yeah, there you go. Again, get up and stretch. Crunch, crunch. And when we come back, it's going to be time for another request.
Yes.
So start thinking about what you want. Don't tell us yet.
Yeah, don't tell us now.
And we will see you folks in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Now we're back.
Hey. You folks might notice that the cared one here, he's gone to the gym since we've been on our break. This is Tyler. And, I admit I didn't necessarily recognize you right off the bat when you came in today. Thank you. But and maybe, folks, if you've been at a pony convention, you might recognize him.
Yeah!
Sound more familiar?
Tyler, but some people might recognize me as Snowflake IRL.
Yes.
Yes.
So, he's in the house tonight, so we decided that I'm going to switch out my regular glasses so I can actually look at the monitor here for a moment and see the type and everything. So, he's in the house tonight, hanging out with folks and everything, because just so you folks know, today is Dusty's birthday.
Yes, it is.
So we're all going to be spending the evening here celebrating the manliest Brony's birthday. And if you didn't happen to know that, go tell him. So, and so you're up in the area.
Yeah, wanted to surprise Dusty for his birthday.
You did.
Yeah, scheduled with Lance, made sure it was okay, and then came down and just kind of...
I was sitting in the living room when he got your phone call, and it was like, you need to wash your how do you know I need to wash my truck?
Oh, I've got my ways.
Oh, so how have you been?
Not bad.
Okay, you got out of the service, I believe.
Yes, I did. That's why I've got the facial hair.
Yes.
Because no one's telling me that I got to shave every day.
It looks good on you.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. All right. So we are now looking at the second hour, and we are looking at
Another request.
And by the way, you may put a request in too.
Anything with bulk biceps. I mean, he did have the nut cart recently.
Yes,
so.
he did. I thought that was actually, he has worked 2 jobs.
Yes. What?
I know.
Wear many hats.
Yes.
No. It was a lot lighter. It says, what? I have many hats.
Yes. I thought he'd be making enough money as a deep muscle masseuse, though, that he'd be able, if he wanted to, he could make a living at that.
Well, of course, he has to make money to support his daughter Scootaloo. # Canon. #headcanon, sorry.
All right,
Okay.
so let's see what we got.
We got Rosemary Parker being Jessica Knight.
Sweetie Belle and Button Mash's first kiss. Oh boy. Tony Millie, Rosemary Parker, Meeting Jessica Knight. Yeah, we've seen that one before.
Mm-hmm.
Bulk biceps, wrestling Mod Pie, and losing.
Funny you should say that, since we technically have.
Yes.
Yeah. Downstairs.
Yes.
Alfred E. Newman Bonafide. What?
Yeah.
Oh, for any of you who don't know, I am currently in a relationship with my special son pony at Sugarheart. She has cosplayed Mod Pie a handful of times at, I believe, Nightmare Nights, the last Equestria LA, and then BabsCon last year.
And
Yes.
she sells it.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
she does.
she's good at it.
She has made people feel uncomfortable
Yeah.
every now and then,
Yeah.
where she never breaks character.
No, she
And
doesn't.
they ask for a signature or something. Okay,
No.
and then it's just like, oh okay, well, bye.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
So, all right, yeah, we had, yeah, 'cause, I mean, I remember watching her play Cards Against Humanity, and she never broke character. It was like,
Yeah.
See, even on the most vile ones.
yes.
And what else we got here?
What do you do with three
Pegasus
babies?
offering another pony the middle feather. Rarity visits the heavenly body.
I don't know.
Rarity in Kiss concert room.
I've only
Yeah.
done a couple bulk biceps ever.
Sheeta in a wood
I don't
shop.
think I've ever seen them.
Oh.
Because I follow you on Deviant, and I don't think you
No,
have.
well, I've never posted them.
There you
Patina,
go.
Patina as a frustrated game master. You can stop at game master. Frustrated is always. Darth Angel.
Darth Angel.
Rosemary as a Southern Belle. I think you've done that one.
Yes, I have. I've already done that one.
Rosemary in a sci-fi.
How about Draw Tricks of
Saturn
Evil
III,
Laugh?
something.
A carousel pony.
It's kinda
Hold
cool.
on to that one, horse, possibly for next round. But I think I'm gonna go because we have our guest here in the seat, and that's right. I've never posted any of my bulk biceps. I mean, and all of them I've done have been at his parties, which means that the usually by the time I'm getting around to drawing bulk bicep, I've consumed a fair amount of ethanol. So my drawing style drifts a little bit and then goes off into the weeds. So, okay, bulk bicep. I'll need some reference, but that's what the internet's for.
Yes.
One of the greatest drawing tools in the world if you have a Wi-Fi connection is...
Bulker shy. Everyone knows that bulk mod is OTP.
Google, come here, Google. There's Google. All right.
Bulk playing Roan. I thought sadistic was the unnecessary adjective for GM.
Now, we change glasses so no one yells at me. And we get going here.
And Paul Peoples.
Yes.
Are you new here, Paul?
Yeah, Paul, you new here?
Yeah. It would like an undead pony.
An
Horse
undead.
horse would like a carousel pony.
Yes, and I thought that was kind of an interesting one. I'm tempted to...
Well, that could be like this weird pony fetish.
Well, that'd be the carousel.
Well, it's exactly. Getting into sort of a little harness thing that makes them look like they're, got the pole run through them.
Oh yeah, well I mean, carousel when she performs quite often at the Bucking Mare, my Quest of Dreamscape wears a carousel style outfit, and she actually does do carousel dancing, which is a type of dancing in my Dreamscape. Alrighty.
That just reminds me of some of the early concept art for Rarity from Lauren Faust,
Yeah,
where she had her dressed up like that.
and if you look around the Carousel Boutique, you still see mannequins sitting on display with saddles and bridles.
Yep.
All right.
Doesn't need the stick going through, but it can look that way. Of course, the whole thing about just dressing up as with the really really fancy tack and the whole bit, floofy and flouncy and flowery.
Well, both Patina and Carousel do it because they're pole dancing, so there's a pole and they're dressed like carousel ponies.
I get it.
Huh?
Random con memory. There was this one time, there was this little girl walking around the con, and she was dressed up as Pinkie Pie, and she ran into Sugar dressed as Maud. And I guess because she never broke character, the little girl honestly thought she had met Maud Pie, and she started following us around during the convention. It was one of the most adorable things I've ever seen. Like, she even asked her mom to call up her dad so she can tell her that she met Maud Pie. And then, like, after a panel, because the child wanted to sit next to Sugar during the panel, and then her and her mom left for a little bit. But then they ran into us again, and the little girl gave Sugarheart one of those Funko Pinkie Pie blind bags. I think it was just, you know, like, don't forget about me. And it took a lot of energy from Sugar to not break character, because she just wanted to, you know, hug this child.
I am reminded of the first Everfree Northwest that I went to back in 2013.
Is that the first one ever?
I think it was the second year.
Oh, okay.
But there was this little girl on Sunday who was wearing this Fluttershy full body suit, and had the full head and everything. And when she stood still, she looked like, oh, someone's made like a 4 foot tall Anthro Fluttershy, like plushie sculpture. You can like put up some corner of your room, but then it moved. Oh my God, it moved!
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I remember all the photographers saying, can we take her outside and get some pictures of her? And she was out there on the lawn of the hotel by the flowers, and this butterfly came and landed on her hoof. And it was like one of these perfect, quick, take the picture now, you're never going to see this again moments the photographers live for. And it was just like, okay, I'm dying from the sugar.
That could certainly do you in.
Yeah. And it was like her first time at a convention like this. It was the first time her parents had ever gone to anything like this. And they were very uncertain about her daughter doing this. And they were having the most wonderful time with the fan that was being so...
Oh yeah, I remember gushing over that little Fluttershy too.
Yeah.
Because I was there. I think those are the best moments, is when the kids are enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you make that connection.
Yeah. Personally, when I go to conventions, which is a little bit rarer now, I'll bring like $50 worth of just like coloring books, blind bags, what have you. And then whenever I see a kid, I go to the parent. It's like, is it okay if I give him something? And I'll reach into my bag of goodies and pull out whatever I can. There was one time I was working a con. I was Viper, and I was basically doing security for the autograph room. And I was just kind of shooting the breeze with Emmy Larson and Jason Thiessen. And I was telling him that I was do this. It's like, yeah, every now and then I just give kids stuff because, well, you want the kids to support the show. And make the parents feel more comfortable about coming to these things. And there was this Lyra and Bonbon, these two kids, I think sisters, dressed up. And as soon as they walked into the room, Jason and Larson pointed at it. It was like, look, children, Snowflake, take care of it. And I reach in, and luckily, at that moment, I did actually have the Lyra and Bonbon Funko blind bags. So I grabbed those, ran to them, and I gave each one the other one.
This year at BabsCon, one people who I work with, Earth Pony Creations, who does amazing laser etched wood, and he does a lot of my images actually on his laser cutter. In fact, he had very good sales of the Changeling Hive and Snowfall Frost Home. But at any rate, this year on Friday, he had someone walk up to him, and I don't know the exact dollar amount, but it was a fairly substantial sum of money, like, much more than, like, say, $50. And the guy said, I'm going to give you some money. And if you have anybody come up to your booth that really likes your stuff, but they just can't afford it, but you can tell they really want something, give them one of the little small laser etched keychain things. That's it. No, tell them this person did or anything like that. It was just, I want to do this so people have a great weekend. They come back from the con with something to remember it.
Exactly. And there was, I have a handful of these stories. There was the first Everfree. There was this little boy dressed as Soren.
Uh-huh.
And as luck would have it, I had, it was the second one, because that, by the second Everfree, they had the Wonderbolt blind bags.
Yes.
And I happened to have a Soren on me. And, I made sure it's like he has to have a Soren blind bag. So I gave it to him. And then that was day 1 of the con. Day 3 rolls around, and that same family's there. And they ran into me, and they pulled me aside. He's like, we just want you to know that he has not let go of that thing for the last 2 days.
Excellent.
Like, whenever he has to use a different hand, he just changes where the blind bag is, and then, he goes about doing whatever he's doing. And it's moments like that. Because it's, you just want kids to just look back and have memories of these where if they get a little bit older and be like, bronies were weird, and you have this one kid be like, no, they weren't. They were giving me toys. They were, taking pictures of me, parading me around like I was the most awesome thing.
Yeah, well, I remember once again that first Everfree Northwest I went to. I was sitting in the bar with Peter New, which is what you do with Peter New quite often. Which we spent some time with Peter New on Friday night. It was very, very nice to get a chance to get caught up with a little bit on what he's doing. And while I was sitting there talking to him, this mother came over, and she had brought her son to the con that weekend, and it was his first time going to a convention, and he was one of those kids who was, kind of like how I was growing up, socially awkward. And she was just commenting on how much she enjoyed it and how much he had enjoyed it, and he had met Peter a day or so before, and how everybody was just accepting him as being a person there, and he felt so relaxed and everything, and this was such a great thing. And then she left, and I kind of looked over at Peter and I said, isn't it kind of odd that because at that time we were still taking some flack from some folks about that a TV show that promotes the idea of coming together and the concept of friendship and people coming together for that would be considered weird by society. I mean, what does that tell us about our society if we think that just wanting to get together with people because we want to be friends is somehow wrong? And then I realized that I had read an article years before about the number of people who went into science majors and actually became scientists or worked in those type of endeavors because they had watched the original Star Trek. And I wondered at that time if in 20 or 30 years from now, even if they've forgotten the TV show, if they take to heart the messages of friendship is magic, what kind of effect they're going to have on the world?
Yeah.
And in a good way.
Well, I mean, hopefully it's something like, men being able to express themselves.
Yeah, or just, two people, from opposite countries sitting across a negotiating table. And then suddenly realizing that they both love the show. Because that was the other thing, is unlike Star Trek, which originally was a U.S. show that eventually went worldwide, Friendship is Magic almost automatically went international. So it's one of those things where you can have people in different countries going, look, we need to de-escalate a situation. And, what would Princess Celestia do in a situation like this?
I have a friend who actually had a story where she was in a waiting room for, I think, a doctor. There was a little unruly child being, not the best. And apparently her mother called her over and pulled out a one of those talking Princess Celestia dolls. And she's like, how would Princess Celestia feel about how you're acting right now?
I had a situation like that happen at my day job.
Yeah, actually. And the child just, sat down and started acting proper.
Yep. And of course, I had a situation a couple of years later, Sunday morning, going into a market, and Dad pushing, shopping cart around. He's got his daughter in there. She's maybe about 6. And they go past this display of bakery goods, which had these big trays of muffins. And the little girl points at him and goes, muffins! And Dad goes, yes, they are muffins. And then the kid looks at Dad, looks at the muffins, goes, Derpy wants muffins! And the Dad went, if you buy muffins, will you share them with Derpy? And she said, yes. He said, if we buy muffins, will you share them with Mommy and Daddy? And she said, yes. And then he said, fine, we'll get muffins. So he went, yay, muffins! And I'm going, okay, maybe half an hour from now, she's going to be the most screaming little tantrum of a monster, but right now, she's the most adorable thing in the world.
Yes.
And then, actually, in that same market, about a few months later, I was standing in line for checkout, and there was 3 guys in front of me, and these guys all looked like they were sent down from central casting for we need your quintessential middle-age, middle income, have a home, have a mortgage, have kids. We played sports in college. Our kids play sports of some type in school. We all get together on Sunday afternoons or football season and watch football games. I mean, just quintessential middle-class American guys. And they were all talking about their kids and the various, my daughter's in soccer, my son's in baseball, and one of them, he said, yeah, my son's doing track and field this year. And one of the guys kind of chimed in with this, well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me considering he likes Rainbow Dash and this My Little Pony stuff. And they were ripping him, but it was in a good-natured kind of way. And the guy says, yeah, that's true. He likes the show and everything, but it's really a cool show, and it teaches some good lessons and everything. And then there's like this 1, 2, 3, and then he mutters, but loud enough there that his friends could hear him, and I heard it. He says, besides, Princess Celestia is kind of hot. And there was this like, and these 2 guys' heads turn
From the mouths of babes.
Turn and look at this guy, and he goes, "What? She is kind of hot." And I remember years ago.
You have to direct them to Nicole Oliver's website and all of her publicity stills.
Yes. Well, it was just amusing years later when we were down at the Silmar Wildlife Center, and Lauren was there for that one evening. And I was there talking to her, and I told her that story, and she got this, "You're kidding." I went, "No." An adult man, in his 40s.
A mundane.
A mundane said, Princess Celestia was hot. I said, yeah. And it was this whole look of, I had never thought of my character that way before.
Don't worry, we'll do it for you.
Trust me, Patina will send you the files.
You ruined her, Baron.
Well, is there that?
Oh no, this is Lauren. She arrived pre-ruined.
Yeah.
No, she is not some delicate flower that needs to be protected.
No, but it's just that
not even close.
I created this character, but I never conceived of this character this way.
I guarantee you, whoever created the anthropomorphic Robin Hood, or say, what's the show with Chippendale Rescue Rangers?
Yeah. With
everyone on this
Gadget.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone on this feed, don't tell me you didn't have a thing for Gadget when you were growing up.
Oh, geez. Not mentioning any names, but because he's still out there. But he's now a retired. He was a deputy sheriff. Now he's retired. One of the most prolific Rescue Rangers fanfic authors around, and he thought Gadget was the bomb. Deputy likes Gadget a lot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was great. He's actually a really good writer too.
I had a thing for Becky from Tailspin, for some reason.
See, my favorite lady from Tailspin was the Sea Duck itself.
Oh, the Sea Duck was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I love that plane. I don't know why.
But you couldn't go dancing with it.
Yeah, that was an issue. I don't know why I like that.
Speaking as a pilot, I beg to differ.
Large dance floor.
Yeah, it's called the Sky.
I don't know why, but that whole the tail wings, like everything connected. That whole design of I want. I don't know if I can find it. I don't know if I can commission someone, but if I have money, I would love to get like a die-cast model of the Sea Duck.
Ah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be a bit more of a trick. I was going to say, if you're looking for a drawing, I can do it.
I know.
I've drawn the Sea Duck before.
What's the real-life plane that the P1...
Catalina?
PBY3.
Okay.
Catalina. That was roughly based off of. I have someone here in the stream saying, I can build a toy for it.
Oh, someone posted a link.
Let's see.
Robin Hood was his first crush ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, the whole thing about Robin Hood that was sort of different from a lot of the previous Disney movies is that they they took the time to have these moments with the characters, and of course the song, "We're Maid Marian" and Robin Hood are off, "Love, you're all grown up inside of us," and again they made the characters appealing visually, voice acting, the situation, the whole writing and everything. It's like, these were people you really wanted to know.
Mm-hmm.
And particularly when you're in your formative years, and a little nudge can put you in whatever direction. And of course, Zootopia is doing that today.
Yeah, I was gonna say Judy Hopps and Nick.
Yeah.
Nick Wilde.
Dang, I think I'm a furry now.
Yeah. Yeah, McClaw, you and saying Cat's Paw are both Maress.
Oh, Cleo from Cadillac Cats.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember Cleo.
isn't it? Yeah. Was that a Filmation property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't remember.
Yeah.
Which one?
Cleo from Cadillac Cats.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Sea Duck is like
Morticia from. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
the Sea Duck is like a Catalina in a C82 packet made sweet, sweet love.
Big old radial engines.
See, and now that someone posted that, the internet, that
Yes.
picture exists somewhere on the internet.
Yes, it does.
Wasn't so much pushing in a direction as leaving hints later. Yeah, that happens. That happens. Actually, one of the funny things is that an animator that just about everybody who's in animation, as they would know about, got his start on Robin Hood was Don Bluth. He led the animation unit that did all of the like the Rabbit Kids and the Turtle and all those guys, and later and basically when he went off to form his own studio that eventually did American Tail, Secret of Nim, Land Before Time, Part 75,000.
He got a little bit fixated. On
Yeah, he did. And he took the entire animation unit with him. He apparently is one of those people that makes you believe. He could. Again, he stole an entire business unit from our animation units right out of Disney Studios. Who was the girl in SWAT Cats? Yeah, a veteran says, remember the surface veins.
Yes, I haven't got to that point
The
yet.
earthworms crawling all over him.
Yeah, I haven't got to that point yet because
Yeah.
I'm still...
Surface detail. Yeah.
exactly. Important thing is getting the basic stuff locked in.
Now, see, the guy who was asking about SWAT Cats, there's actually two females. There was the mayor's assistant, and then there was the chief of police's daughter.
Yeah. Let's keep it just barely on this side of PG-13, folks. Just barely.
Yes.
But we do ask that.
Yeah, because this is technically available for all ages.
Well, yeah. We know better, but still, we're pretending.
I saw earlier someone was like, "Oh, they miss me." Yeah, I'm sorry that I haven't been at a lot of cons recently, but finances makes it hard. But I'm going to try and make a comeback after the movie shows up because I feel like it's going to help re-energize the convention scene.
It'll be interesting to see. The fact, one thing to let folks know, if you weren't aware, Viz Media is going to be publishing the art of the MLP movie.
And they have good production values.
Yes,
so
they do. I have several.
It's going to be a great coffee table book.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the previews, I'm pretty sure Equestria Daily posted some of the
Yes,
preview pics. They look really nice.
They look really good, in spite of the fact that they didn't compress them correctly.
Yeah. Oh God, Kato's remembering Cutie Bunny.
Oh boy.
What was it, Josh? What was the Quagmire? Josh Quagmire, who used to work on, if I remember right, cartoons, and Bernie and Crass, back in the old days. Counterculture and all that.
Yep.
And yes, we remember Crusader Rabbits. Crusader Rabbit was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mav. And
No,
Copper
no.
Cheetah. I think Copper Cheetah and Cat's Paw are probably the only other two people here who, when I say Mav, knows exactly what I mean.
Yes, and the movie does not wrap up the series. We have season 8 already confirmed.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's been, It's been
That's
confirmed
right.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple of the. Let's say the writers, they were mentioning it. Yeah, well, for the next couple of seasons, we're going to be. Yeah. Omaha. Oh, Reed Waller has reemerged, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, he's getting sort of reintegrated into the Minneapolis art and writers scene.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my favorite authors, Stephen Bruce, is another guy from Minneapolis, and Stephen Bruce writes the Jareg fantasy novels, and he mentioned having met up with Reed Waller. It's like, Stephen, you remember? Wow, there's again, it's a blast from the past. Yeah.
Yes, most certainly. Okay, one of these cases, once again, I thought, oh my gosh, I gotta hurry, I'm going out of time. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I got about almost half an hour. Okay.
Yeah, you're working quickly.
I can slow down.
Yeah.
Ponies are going to season 19.
And Larsus's goldfish, his favorite part of the MLB movie was when Captain Picard and President Sheridan take out the Reapers with the elements of harmony and the Omega-13. And they did it all from inside the TARDIS, too.
Yeah.
And then Spike wearing the red shirt died. Sadly.
Yeah.
And I'm still curious to see what exactly they have, and they're going to be doing with William Shatner.
Have they revealed his character? Oh, no, wait. He's
No.
in this season, right?
Yeah, he's in the season.
Okay.
But no word on exactly what he's doing.
I'm assuming voice acting.
Yes, but what kind of character is he playing?
So Tomcat, anyone name an older furry tune than that? Kimba the White Lion, 1964.
Look at that.
It was right about the same time as Tomcat. Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Gosh,
Oh,
TC,
Tomcat, you're right.
what are we doing today?
William Shatner is a brony. Yes, he has said so quite a few times, and he supposedly is going to show up sometime in season 7.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They're showing up in season 7.
Yes. Who's the king of deepest, darkest Africa?
Africa.
I
Who's
still
the
hope
jungle fame?
is that at some point they'll get Patrick Stewart somehow on the show. And it'd be great if they could have him be the voice of Starswool the Bearded and have it like a time back between that
Discord!
and
Was it Discord? Enough!
Yes.
Oh, Starswool, you were so much more interesting before the beard. McClaw says, maybe for next segment, how about ponifying William Shatner?
Ooh.
Not whoever his character is going to be.
Yeah.
Well,
William Shatner himself. That's an idea. It's an idea.
Whatever it is, it has to have a toupee.
My Little Pony.
Yes.
My Little Pony. I used to wonder what friendship could be.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine if they're going to have his character play up that in the episode or what.
Moretz as a Griffin. We're not taking a quest yet.
Yeah.
For the next one yet.
Well, okay, so was that from McClaw?
Yeah, probably. No, actually, no.
Oh,
It
wow.
was Anti-Carrot.
Okay.
McClaw, the bribe worked.
Yeah. Holy crap.
If you could fight anyone, who would you fight?
Who would I fight?
I shouldn't say I would get a visit from people with, with little things in their ears and blue suits and black Ford LTDs.
I agree with him. I would probably get the.
Yeah, I will not say.
Yeah. Oh, who would I fight?
Now, is it fight?
As fisticuffs, or is this like fight them as in I'm going to oppose your ideology?
Exactly, because if it was fisticuffs just for the lulz, that's a good question.
Fight me.
Yes.
Isn't it George of the jungle, as long as he can be?
Watch out for that tree.
Think Fight Club.
Oh no! I understand the question. It's just like it's a really good question.
Yeah,
because
okay.
you never really think about it, like
Yeah.
just for
The fun of
fun
it.
of it.
Yeah. Especially if it's just for the fun of it, and the next morning you can wake up and go, I need several $1,000s of dental work. Especially if it's Fight Club.
I don't know. I mean, I like the guy. He's my friend, but I think it'd be kind of fun to throw down with Dusty.
You'd win.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
I would fight Jack's Blade.
oh my gosh, Baron, you should draw George Takei as a pony. Yeah. Say viciously fighting William Shatner as a pony, because that's what those two do. They do.
Fight me, you cowards!
Fight me, you coward. Oh, die. Mr. Takei does not like William Shatner even a little.
Really?
The words loathe and despise have been used by Mr. Takei several times. And William Shatner's like, I don't understand what I did wrong. And it's like, that's right, Bill, and that's part of the reason. But yeah, they're it's this legendary feud thing, and at this point it's like, would you two just shut up about it?
Yeah.
Go kiss or something. Oh, that's right, George is married.
Yeah.
But
I still would like if someday if I could win the lottery before he shuffles off this mortal coil, and if I could somehow never convince him to do it, I would love to reconfirm my vows with my wife and have George Takei do the service.
yeah.
Aw.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it
Assuming
would.
any of us could keep a straight face through the whole thing.
Least of all,
No, it's not about keeping the straight face. It's about getting giddy, because
Yeah.
you're all going to be smiling.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh my god.
do you, BaronEngel.
Okay, never mind. When you put it that way.
It's like, falling on the ground laughing counts as consent. Yes, okay, moving on to you, Smudge.
Although you have to pay him. You may now kiss the bride, and as soon as you kiss, oh my.
And of course, knowing George Roy afterwards, is like, say he would say probably say then want the first dance with Smudge would go to George's SO. Yeah, I get to see George Baron, I'll let you lead.
That was like when we were down a couple years ago to the Ren Fair, and it was that one booth that was serving the one drink where they pour the beer and then they start pouring the chocolate flavored port.
That was wine with port on top.
Yeah, wine and port. Yeah, and you had to put your hands behind your back and basically
like they do at the Ren Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to have the devil serve me. If I'm going to sin, I want to sin mightily.
I have a video of Mike the Microphone going to his first Ren Fair, and it's just, oh my God, yeah. Actually, at that Ren Fair, they had some of the, it's basically an excuse to go drink a whole lot.
Yes.
And
Can confirm.
yes, and a couple of places they were selling mixed drinks. One of them was called the Rainbow Dash. The other one was called the Pinkie Pie. It's like, oh, really? And they did the thing where again you almost fill the thing with, it was cherry cider is what they were using as the base. And then they just start, again, pouring the chocolate port on top, and you put your lips up against the edge of the glass and just keep, suck it, drink it down, take it all, and it's just, Mike was trying so hard not to spit take.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course, the bartender guy was just, he knew how to sell it. Oh, it was great. I have it as a video. I'll post it sometime just to embarrass Mike.
Do it.
Actually, I think I did once.
Hey, you have.
Yeah, go look on my Twitter and media. It's actually in there.
Yeah. It is funny.
Good night, Sylvan.
Yeah. Glad you could join it. Sorry you have to get up at 4 a.m. He does food delivery truck on Sunday mornings at his job.
Mighty Mouse.
Oh, Mighty Mouse.
That was it Ralph Bakshi tried to do some Mighty Mouse?
Yes.
Couldn't make it work?
Yeah, that got weird in spots, but it was
Yeah.
hilarious in other times.
Yeah.
Yes, how hard it is to throw an axe comparison to a hatchet. Throwing a hatchet's not easy, too.
During the next segment, I say we may have somebody come else sit in the hot seat.
Who's good at?
Yes, but there was one year.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to give him shit about it.
Well, besides that, it's his birthday.
Yeah.
You need to give people shit on their birthday.
Ooh,
Of course.
Baron, Mad Badger is making a pony figure for Esau.
Ooh.
Say hello to Esau for me.
Yes, and
He is one of the last of the true Renaissance man. I mean, he is everything he sets his hand to, he does incredibly well out of the box,
And
or at least he makes it look that way.
And actually, folks, just so you kind of know, way back in 1989, it was because of Esau and Mad Badger here, or some people why I got into fandom, because I was at SCA meeting, and they were some of the folks who convinced me to go to my first convention. So the reason I'm here tonight and everything screaming, you can thank Mad Badger up there. He was one of the people who kind of pushed me in the right direction. At least that's the way I like to think of it.
Yes.
And I've probably embarrassed him immensely now.
Danger Mouse did get a reboot. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't the disaster that a lot of recent remakes have been.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. It still was not the equal of what came before, especially Baron Silas Greenback.
Yeah, but I still need to get around to doing the picture of Patina and Jackie cosplaying Danger Mouse in Penfold. Because they did that one year for Halloween. It worked out because, well, Patina was the right color for Danger Mouse, and Jackie was the right color for Penfold, and she wore glasses automatically. Oh, I'm sorry, Mad Badger. There was lots and lots of witnesses in that room, so you can't get out of this one. It's all your fault that I'm here tonight, living the dream.
Oh, that's right. My first technical pony convention wasn't even a pony convention.
Well, what was it?
It was a local anime convention, like a comic book convention in California.
Mm-hmm.
And there was going to be like an Ask the Ponies panel, just a bunch of cosplayers just being in character. And that was the first time I broke out Snowflake, because I was like, why not? They just introduced this character that's perfect for me to portray. And I got two buddies to come with me. One of them just kind of put wings on and was his own OC, and then another friend of mine, oh yeah, he was Future Twilight, but he kind of tried to do a Solid Snake kind of thing from Metal Gear. So he had like skin tight Under Armour, cut it up himself. He tried to make it look the cool looking Future Twilight.
Actually, that raised the question. Before you got involved in Brony fandom, what were you doing? What fandoms were you in?
Like right before it, I was into Bleach, but only because
I could see that.
Well, I am a huge fan of Kenpachi. And like I've always seen that. I've always been a fan of the oddball muscle head of every anime. Rock Lee from Naruto, Kenpachi from Bleach, and then my favorite Gundam is Heavy Arms, the only one that uses bullets.
Yeah.
And the one thing that really got me into Bleach, especially I actually cosplayed, and I have a few pictures floating around online, is back when I was younger, my hair was longer and it was curlier, and I had the same frames. I looked dead on like Aizen before he left the Soul Society.
Close guys goes, oh God, Bleach.
Oh, it doesn't suck that bad. The suck is enough to crash planes. Hey.
Ow! That sounds like a challenge.
Up until they stopped using Aizen, it was really good, except for the fillers.
Yeah. There you go. There's a you can fight horse. You can do the whole Thunderdome over Bleach. Two go in. One.
But I think the biggest difference between an anime convention is at least for me and the pony conventions were, when I was at the anime convention, even when I was cosplaying and stuff like that, I still felt like a wallflower. It's like, hey, we want a picture. Okay, do a pose, and then I just kind of like slink back into my corner. There'd be a handful of people that I'd be able to talk to about the particular anime I like, but it still felt really elitist in a way.
You had to be a member of the club.
You had to be a member of a club. If you didn't like the anime I'm into right now, you're not in my club. If you don't like the video game I'm into right now, you're not into my club, and etc. etc. Whereas with My Little Pony, especially the pony conventions, it's all one big thing.
Yeah, that was the thing I actually, once again, going to my first Everfree, which was my first pony convention I ever went to. I went there kind of by myself, and I mean, I went with Dusty, and Carolyn was there, but we were all kind of heading off in our different directions. So I was just kind of wandering around. And I'm going, okay, I'm probably one of the oldest people here in this room. I could be.
Oh, you are a mere child.
Dad, you weren't there in the room at the time.
Okay.
So I kind of be the dad of a lot of these fans, and yet they were perfectly cool with talking with me, and we were able to strike up conversations. Veteran has mentioned Fooly Cooly. That was a great anime series. Twisted, but great.
Isn't it like 6 or 8 episodes?
No, it's longer than that. It was a half season. It was a 13 episode.
Oh, okay. I thought it was shorter than that for some reason.
No. It was Twisted though.
It was a trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, at an anime convention, I would see a lot more fighting within fandoms where, if you don't like a certain character, there would be a legitimate discussion and argument over it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you mean Steven Universe? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But with like Pony, it's like, Derpy is best pony. That's a weird way to say Twilight. I think you misspelled Rainbow Dash.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd all have
your
a joke.
accent is all strange because that's the weirdest pronunciation of Applejack I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You're right. Best background pony. Hashtag wrecked.
No fighting in the studio. No fighting in the studio. Wait until the
Fight
break
me.
and take it outside. And actually, Fooly Cooly did get 2 seasons. That's right. It did.
Was it just 2 half seasons, or did they?
I think it was 2 half seasons and ended up being 26 episodes, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that was a very surreal, very much an anime of its time.
Yes.
For it.
Because there's really no way of describing it.
And
Like if anyone was like, it's like Evangelion. It's like, why do you like this? You just gotta watch it.
Yeah. And I'll have to admit, one thing that you mentioned about anime fandom, and it wasn't one thing I really enjoyed when I got into Brony fandom, is I have been involved in anime since the 1980s, mid to late 80s, and have done anime conventions for literally decades. And I dabbled at doing anime art for a while, and dropped out of doing it because the fans were so, if you are not religiously adhering to the studio style, you are some type of heresy. And that's one thing about Brony fandom, is it's been much more accepting of different people. This is my interpretation of what this character looks like.
Yeah.
Which is really kind of cool, because it allows people to be very expressive and, their own take on how a character might look. I mean, I love Earthsong 9405's takes on the characters, and how she's done some things like with the Pegasi, including tail feathers at the base of the tail, so they have a steering surface.
That's mostly for tummy ticklers.
That too.
You know I'm right.
Well, feathers are very good, eh? All right. And I'm doing pretty good. Oh,
It looks
I've
so
got 8
pretty.
minutes left. Is that working?
Yes.
That's working. It's working. Okay, very good.
Snowflake IRL approves. But Carradine mentioned Steven Universe.
Yeah.
There is a bomb coming soon. I think it starts May 6th. They're going to do another 5-parter, 5 days in 1 week. And I mean, no spoilers. They did do a one of those teasers. It looks pretty intense. It looks like, the beginning of the end, where things are going to start getting really serious really fast.
That's what it says. Coming up on the next break in a few minutes.
Also,
La Bamba.
I have this very evil plan because of Steven Universe.
Evil? How describe your evil?
At some point in my life, I
Draw one of the jewels skinny.
Oh. Hashtag triggered.
Yeah.
No,
We have another reminder. Veins. It's like, dude, you are so into veins. You know, what are you, a phlebotomist?
what I want to do is I want to get a high gloss picture of Sugalite because she is my favorite gem. And again, I think it falls under that whole I like the big dumb strong ones. I want to get a high gloss, high end picture of Sugalite. I want to go to a Nicki Minaj concert. Because, for those of you who don't know, she was the voice of Sugalite, which means Sugalite will never talk on the show again. I want to get her to sign it, and as soon as she signs it, and as soon as I have that picture in my hands, and there is no way of her getting it back from me, I am going to tell her, you know, I believe that this is the greatest thing you have ever done and ever will do with your career. And then just and
Run
then
from security.
Get the heck out of Dodge.
Yeah. Are you guys still talking about Celestia? No, we're not talking about boning Celestia.
Yeah, and
She's too classy for that. One makes love.
yes, and
No,
but
but-
I will say, Celestia has shot up to the top of Patina's popular pony chart.
She gave permission.
Yes, with that one comment she made in Celestial Advice.
Uh-huh.
And she laughed in Twilight's face.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah, but just the
Yeah. By the way, are we still on spoiler embargo for
today.
For today.
For today only, not for last week.
Okay. Well, we'll see what people think. So, we ready to start talking about the season openers for season 7 yet? Being sensitive to spoilerific.
I guess if whoever's in the feed, yay or nay. Where is it? Clear Skies. Will I be going to BaronEngel? Not this year. Although I do plan on doing it at least next year.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Because-
Sure, my nut cart.
I wear many
My
hats.
nut cart! My nut cart! Wait, didn't you work at the spa? I'm late for my other job! What? I have many hats.
And I have to admit, the whole thing about that was as soon as Trixie started talking about cinnamon nuts, I'm going, you know what? That
I've
sounds
had cinnamon nuts. They're good.
That,
Yes,
that
yes, they
sounds
are.
really, really
I
good.
think that's going to be my next cosplay. Is I am going to dress up as Snowflake with the smock and the hat, and I am going to have I'm going to give people bags of cinnamon nuts. Would you like a taste of my sweet nuts?
You know, it's super easy to make them yourself because they're very expensive in the store. But all you really need is is against sugar, water, say nuts, butter, and and the cinnamon, and
Yep.
maybe a little bit of nutmeg.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make them really, really cheap. You make them in the oven.
Yeah. I made them for, in fact,
Hey, show enough.
Hey,
Hey,
show
show
enough!
The con was awesome, and we had a grand old time. The Roan panel was very well received. We had over 24 people there in the audience.
About 30.
30 people there. And when Robert ran the game on Saturday, we had a full table, and we had people standing around asking questions and really enjoying the whole Roan experience. So we did some great outreach, you might say, that weekend.
Also, random note. Hey, show enough. What was the collection he did where they were all like up in armor? Do you remember that? Or he did the MLP characters as like soldiers.
Knights of Equestria, I believe.
Knights of Equestria. I mean, I feel like it might have been weird coincidence, but the fact that I dress up as Bulk Biceps, my girlfriend dressed up as Maud, and you have a picture of the Berserker Bulk Biceps and then like the Earth Mage Maud, like together. I thought that was really cool.
Okay, we're almost at 7:30, so why don't we click back to the main camera here?
1, 2, 3.
All right. I want to thank you for having me in the seat here for the last
Oh,
hour.
no problem.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
So it's about time for one of our hourly breaks.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So we will see you guys back in about 5 minutes or so. Go get yourself some cinnamon nuts.
Yes.
Go get yourself a drink.
Oh, there's also we have great spam sushi downstairs
Oh,
waiting
yes.
for us.
Do. Muslim
Yes.
sushi, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, we will see you guys in 5 minutes. And how about I click on this thing right here?
Welcome back.
Hi guys.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
And of course, we're doing this.
Snowflake lost all his hair very suddenly.
All of it's gone. Look at that.
Head first into the nair.
Yeah, it's all
Gone,
all that
baby.
cider.
That cider with a little bit of kick to it.
Aha. Yeah.
Little fireball.
And of course,
Cinnamon fireball.
Oh, so it's a.
It's like cinnamon nut fireball.
So it's a Jen Blake approved.
Yeah, Jim Blake approved.
Beverage here.
Yes.
All right.
Just
And of course, we had to have the birthday boy on my stream
It's
today.
me.
he's old.
Yes.
I'm old. Yes.
So I just want to say, how was BabsCon for you?
BabsCon for me was pretty dang awesome because a couple of things happened. One, we had our arm wrestling panel, which went awesomely.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a videotape of it up on AC Race Best's channel on YouTube. Check it out. And then AC and Saberspark basically let me play in their Hooves Line panel. So basically, not only was I the host, but I got to play in a couple of the games, which was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also up on his channel, so check it out. It was the first time I got to play in that game with them in the Hooves Line. It was awesome.
Yes.
So,
And of course, you also were doing a little bit of peddling of your
yes,
own
I was
new line
peddling
of
my
merch.
wares.
Yes, this
Yes.
guy has
Stuff.
In fact, why don't you show what
Oh,
your
yes.
most recent
I
stuff?
finished a new guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, this is the Pinkie Pie version with Maud and Pie. I got the grape purple to go with it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This isn't just some toy or something like that.
It is electric.
It's all needs to be tuned.
Yeah, it's a little out of tune right now. Actually, you can grab my tuner off my guitar in the other room. We'll tune this up real quick because man, it's out of tune. Sorry about that. I thought it was in tune.
Yeah,
oh my god!
we're-
You put new strings on something and they stretch, and then you have to retune it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is the Pinkie Pie version.
Yeah.
I'll be making another couple of versions, and they will be ending up at Everfree Northwest. I actually got a request by one Tabitha St. Germain to make a rarity specifically so that she can sign it and have it in the Everfree Northwest charity auction.
But
Yeah, that's way off. Holy
Yeah.
man.
But the thing that's great about this isn't just some little gimmicky type thing. This is a real honest to goodness 3-string slide guitar.
baby.
You could sit on the front porch and play that old Southern blues with this thing.
Wow, that's like a half step off.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm
sorry.
Okay, so where's our volume
Get
here?
the touch loud.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, turn it down.
Tweaky, tweaky, tweaky.
There you go. Sorry for the loudness, people.
Yeah.
Other way. G, where are you? There you
There
are.
we are.
There you are. Okay. That's much better. Mo better.
Yes.
Yes, so it's all. Yes. 12-bar blues, baby.
Say.
Yes.
And so he's going to have these things at Everfree Northwest. So if you're up at Everfree Northwest, drop by.
Yes.
But if you can't make it Everfree Northwest, you have an Etsy store.
I have an Etsy store.
Yes.
So if you want to have me build you one of these, I can do it if the boxes are available. Certain boxes I can get fairly easily. The Stallions box I can get fairly easily. Twilight box I can get fairly easily. Luna boxes I can get fairly easily. I think Derpy boxes are still also available on Interplay. But if you have one of these from earlier, Interplay was actually doing this. If you have one laying around the house you want me to make into a guitar, you can ship it to me and I will make a guitar for you for about a $150. But if you go to my Etsy store, you can also pick up the Stuffed Animal Overhaul. You can pick up the Twilight Sparkle Secret Shipfic folder card. I will have a second Twilight Sparkle Secret Ship folder card coming out at Everfree Northwest. I also have a Cloisantine, is that how you say it?
The Cloison.
Cloisonne.
Cloisonne.
Pin, I'm sorry, I'm not French.
That's okay.
Cloisonne pin of Overhaul now, so you can check that out on my Etsy store. I will have more product coming out soon, and that would be awesome if you do that because I do that to pay the bills to the gentleman over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
There's a Dusty.
Yes.
He's like me now. He doesn't have a
Yes.
day job.
No
What
day job.
he's doing, if you're voice acting, building these
narration,
things.
building stuff, Etsy store, going to
Mhm.
conventions, selling there.
Yeah.
So if you like what I do, please support it.
Yeah.
Yes, just like
Yeah.
this gentleman over here.
Yeah. We'll be putting a link up in the thing here.
Yeah.
In a second.
Yeah.
It's not wanting to display.
It's not wanting to display.
I will dig it out and
Yeah, we'll dig
type
it.
it in.
Yeah,
Dig it, baby.
But before the night's over, we'll definitely make sure there's a link up there for folks can go and take a look at his store. Also, too, if you follow me on Twitter, I have his link
Yes.
in my Twitter. So that's another reason to be following me, because when cool stuff like this, or when I found out about Viz Media doing the MLP movie art book,
Yes. Oh my God.
bam, that came
awesome.
up on my Twitter. That's the fast stuff.
I want that. I want that book.
Yeah, I do
Bad.
too.
I want that book.
I
bad.
want that book really bad. Now, also too,
Yes, Time Lord Us. This is a 3-string slide guitar tuned to open G. So that would be G, D, and G. So that is an open G chord. You can tune these down to F, which would be basically the chord that you would use to play like Folsom Prison Blues. Is in an F. It doesn't sound very good in G, but you can actually play that on one of these too.
Yep.
There's a bunch of different things you can do with one of these. You can do Chuck Berry turnarounds. You can do all kinds of different bluesy type things with it. Basically, this is what it is. It's a blues
Oh,
guitar.
thank you. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Gunnar,
Yes.
for putting that up there. There it is. Thank you very much.
Thank
for the
you.
link.
Thank you.
Yes.
And
Doing my job for me.
Yeah.
Already had it bookmarked. I love you, my boy. I love you. Thank
Now
you
it
very much.
is. We're starting a new hour effectively on the show, so we do
Yes.
need to take a moment to basically thank our sponsor, University Art in San Jose,
Absolutely.
and in Sacramento, and in Redwood City. I worked with them for almost 20 years,
Yep.
and last year they approached me. Actually, this year they approached me and said, "Hey, we like what we're seeing on your stream and everything, and we want to support you." So
Absolutely. And
you
in fact, when he worked at University Art,
Mm-hmm.
this was the only man who ever,
I framed your work.
yes, he was. If I bought a piece of artwork, he was the only one who would frame it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only guy I would trust to frame it.
Yep.
So yeah, I've got some expensive stuff on the wall.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You've got some serious. You've got
So not only did I pay $1,000 to have this gentleman do a piece of artwork for me, then I paid him $300 to frame it. So-
well,
I paid the store $300.
Penny wise, pound foolish. It would have been
Yes, pretty
stupid to
much.
spend
Stupid to
$1,000
spend
for
$1,000 on a piece and not like spend some money to frame it.
right. It would have been
So,
really
yeah.
kind of goofy.
I do have some new stuff that I need to talk to him about framing, because I have not only the cover, but I also have the last page of the Wonderbolts episode of the comic.
Oh, Baskets?
Tony Fleece.
Oh, fleeces. Okay.
Yeah, so Fleece's last Wonderbolts episode that he actually wrote himself, which had, I got the cover and I got the last page, because if you go to the lower left corner of the last page, you might see somebody you recognize, but I'm not going to say anything more about that. And of course, I have a copy of the book, so I need those 2 pages plus the copy of the book actually framed. It's going to cost me a mint someday, but yeah, I need to talk to him about that.
Maybe set up when they're doing one-day sales, which they do twice a
Yeah,
year, and you can
one-day
save
sale.
20 to 30% off the cost of framing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
University Art.
University Art, and we have done our plug.
Plug.
Now, there was someone who made a request. I think it was Horse. When we were going through the ideas for requests, and it kind of tickled my fancy.
You have a very fancy tickle.
You have a fancy tickle.
I do. And that was for a carousel horse.
She's my favorite.
Yeah, I thought
You know how long I've been trying to get into equestrian in this man's head? I have basically once a week, and now once every 3 days, do I send actually the forms for visitor visa to equestria in this man's head, just so I can actually take Carousel out on a date. That's it. That's what I want. But for some reason, his head won't let me in.
Don't blame me.
I know. But
It's
the thing is,
Princess Celestia.
I'm actually in his dreams, in a different dreamscape.
A different dreamscape, but
In a
you
different dreamscape, I actually control the Valhallans.
Yes.
Yes.
At least the Andurian office.
The Endurian office of the Valhallans, my job is to keep nuclear weapons out of their hands.
Uh-huh.
That's my job. My whole job is to keep them from getting automatic weapons or nukes. That's it.
Mortars.
Mortars, yes.
They
mortars
love mortars.
too. Yeah.
They love mortars.
Anything big like that, I'm supposed to keep out of their hands. But that's my job
So
in Andor.
I think I'm going to actually. I'm tempted to do that, but that is high on my list. I want to see what you folks also throw at me. I've got someone here suggesting a Jen Blake Pontified, playfully
Yes.
teasing rarity.
So while we're waiting for that, I'm going to play a little 12-bar blues.
Exactly.
Accompanied by the man over
Right
there.
now, Horse is on the their request is on top of the pile. Knock it off. Let's see if you can knock it off something better.
Whoops. Oops. I'm still learning this stuff, guys. So yeah, it's gonna stink for a while. So, although I'm learning, there's a lot of cigar box guitar play on YouTube. You can learn tons about cigar box guitar on YouTube. Oh my God, I'm learning so much stuff. But,
By the way, evening, Cretius. Glad you could join us.
hey, Gracious, what's up, babe? She did a new piece of artwork for me, which is coming out later, which I can't show just yet. So look out for new art from Cretius that she did for me.
Yeah, Cretius works fast, Cretius works to spec, and Cretius delivers.
More buttons, Mom. Again.
Well, yeah, that's definitely a possibility. Buttons Mom. Buttons Mom.
He's got it going on.
I'm seeing a lot of Buttons Mom popping up here.
Rosemary at a Ren Fair.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Overhaul singing the blues to Carousel. That's too many. That's too much work.
Okay, so let's say if we did.
Qualified William Shatner sitting at his table at the Daring Do convention.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Okay, if we did do Buttons Mom, I'm tempted on that one to actually do it like how Jan Animation did, to do it strictly show style. Folks cool with
It
that?
would be a good challenge for you. You don't draw show style very often.
Yeah. Well, or just go to four-legger at least. As close as possible to that. I think we're going to do that. Let's go Buttons Mom.
That's a guaranteed sale.
Now it's time to get that to work. Okay, could you switch camera, please, Carrot One?
Yay!
I will
camera
think
switching.
about it.
Absolutely.
I said,
I thought about it, and that's what
I
came
said,
out.
please.
Oh, the people say. Ha! Oh, yeah.
Gonna jump back, kiss myself.
Gonna jump back, kiss myself. Ha ha! Does anybody know where that came from?
That's James Brown.
That was James Brown, but that wasn't James Brown who did it.
Yeah, that's like somebody imitating him. If I
It
remember
is.
right.
It is somebody imitating. Who in the chat can figure out where
That would
came
probably
from?
be Eddie
Yeah.
Murphy, would be my guess.
That'd be my.
Copper's got it. Of course, we're old. We would remember that. No, it wasn't Johnny Bravo.
Yeah. I don't know about Picasso and was helping patina. Interesting idea.
Trying to find the chords on this thing. It's like,
Are you doing GCD?
yeah, I'm trying to do it's open G,
Which-
so
yeah, so you go up 5.
yeah, 5 would be there, and that would be 3, 5, 7, 9, 12. Blind melon chitlin. Now, veteran, yeah, that's one we can't actually say out of air there, veteran. Yeah, we know about blind melon chitlin. Blind baby, there's a thumping coming through. Maybe you take off your boots. Yes, creatures, we should totally meet up at a con someday. Yes, yes, understood. We should do that.
You know what Croesus has been up to for the past 2-3 days?
Spiders.
Tarantulas.
Yes.
And a bunch of them in the backyard. They're no longer in the backyard. They are now guests. Croesus is the tarantula bone.
Tell you what, if you're that much off on one of these lines, it's like, you have to just practice. Punch Bomb. Of course, we have to get Ali Monty to actually voice it.
Oh, blast.
Oh, blast.
Got that too high.
Oh, thank you, Time Lord. Why don't
What?
we ask Dusty?
What?
The Time Lord has heard that there was a year at Ren Fair when axe throwing didn't quite go as expected.
There was a year.
Yeah, there was a year.
There was a year
a very strange.
when
had
had an off year, and we all went axe throwing. I had an off year and didn't actually perform to my true potential.
Did not
in throwing
perform
axes.
to potential.
Rumor has it that at some point in my life I'm not perfect.
Not perfect anymore.
Not perfect anymore. And that one over there, yes, that one.
Carolyn came along and
Beat
stole
me.
the medal. He'll
Beat
do
me,
it
yes.
some more.
He beat me. I got second. No, actually, I didn't even place that year. You won. I didn't even place. So, yeah. But most years I place first, second, or third whenever I go. And for some reason, I just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with an axe that day. And that one ended up winning. And he will never, ever, ever let me live it down.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
but you
friends
got
are
all the kisses from
In
the
fact,
girls and even
fact, that year for Christmas, guess what I got for Christmas?
bunch of
I
shitty
got
axes.
6 throwing axes for Christmas.
You need more practice,
From him.
that's all.
Yes. But we're in the middle of the city limits. It's kind of hard to put an axe throwing target in the backyard.
As long as your axe stays in the backyard. It's when your axe sails over into the next neighbor's yard that gets to be a problem. Since it's not like going over and ringing the doorbell and saying, "Can I get my baseball back?"
I really gotta work on this. My eyesight doesn't help either. Of course, I could just chug like Metallica. No, that sucks.
Let's stop that. Oh, but I don't know if you saw the anthro babseed that I did.
Yes. Oh my God.
Woo! When I got the inspiration for that, one of the things that popped in my head was the Metallica video that you were in earlier this year.
Really?
Halo Fire.
Oh yes.
The girl in that was kind of sort of the inspiration. You know, Babs as this mixed martial arts combatant.
Nice.
Could somebody dig up the URL for the official Metallica video?
Yes. Dig up the URL for the official Metallica video of
Halo on Fire.
Halo on Fire. And at several points in that video, you'll see my
see
bald head.
Okay.
And one very important scene in that video, you'll see all of me, which is awesome. You see, the problem with a Dusty and Cardoon duet, they're generic, is that I don't know chords. All I do is mess around, and I throw him off because I change chords to not musically know where I'm going.
Chords not found in nature.
Chords not found in nature, so I'll just be
Tuned to
playing
the key of
along,
Q.
and all of a sudden I go somewhere, and he's going, "Where the hell did you go? Why did you go there?" Yes.
You went off the road into the weeds.
Oh yeah, I go off the road into the weeds a lot in my music. So that's why Mando
Our
Pony never asked to speak
music
to
reeks
anything.
of weeds.
See, it should have been here.
Gotta crank up my tremolo.
Well, the problem, Cold, is Jan unfortunately made certain statements.
Enemies.
Well, he made certain claims.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You do not use the word.
Don't use the word.
Yeah, he said spin-off.
Mhm.
He said episode.
You said pilot.
And yes, exactly. And because his stuff looks so good
Yes.
and so close to the show, they said, okay, we can't have this.
Right.
Yes.
And
Nothing-
unfortunately, he
yeah.
tried to stick to his guns, but he didn't have any guns to stick to.
No guns.
Right.
Impossible. This is actually a 3-string slide guitar tuned to open G. And it is a lunchbox guitar available on my Etsy store.
Hey,
Check-
Sergeant, why don't you
check it
join
out.
us?
Yes, so if you want one of these, they're available. And they're electric. They're awesome. They're lots of fun. And I'm trying really hard to play something consistent so that, Lance doesn't beat me.
And here's one question: the amp for that thing?
Huh?
The amp for
The
your
amp. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
These are really cool. This is a 9-volt battery Fender, actually. This is a mini twin amp, and this is basically based on a 49. It has tweed covering, 9-volt, and headphone out, which is kind of cool. It has drive on it, which gives it some bite and some growl, which is kind of cool and really neat. I have a project right now where I might not need that for much longer. So
And just how much will it set you back?
that's $49.
So cheap.
It was cheap. Yeah, so if I want to take these to a convention, I just take that with me so I can play it for people.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to buy it, then hey, this is what it sounds like.
Yep. And they can just order those, like from their music store.
Oh
something
yeah,
like
you can get them
that.
at there's like 3 or 4 different versions for 3 or 4 different brands right there at your local guitar center.
Okay.
So Fender, Black Star, Orange, a bunch of different amp companies make one.
Mm-hmm. So
And
it's
of
a
course,
way.
the classic is the pig nose.
The classic is the big nose, which is very cool little amp.
So basically, for someone who wanted to get kind of started inexpensively into electric guitar, this is a way of doing it.
Yeah, if you want to get started in electric guitar, one of these, $150. One of those, $49. So for $200, you can get into electric blues slide guitar and mess around in your bedroom anytime you want to.
Get your bayou on.
Yes, get your bayou on.
You're right. right, Sergeant, because she's got it going home.
The only problem is I feel like I should have a moonshine bottle. And let that run right by sometimes, Sergeant.
We were almost in tune.
Yeah.
We're getting better.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
See, he can do that. I can't do that. Even on my 6-string guitar, I can't play like that, which is weird.
Well, you got that wrist thing going on. With that forearm thing there. Makes it a little bit more hard. Yeah. Oh, and Cretius would like to know if you're going to be needing further services.
Maybe.
All the hopeful looks.
All the hopeful. I'm thinking about a couple of things, Cretius, so we'll talk a little later, okay? I'm not sure exactly when that's going to happen, but I've got a lot of irons in the fire right now that I'm trying to put out. Or at least trying to get to fruition, you know what I mean?
Yes. in the stream for a while. Sorry if I've missed you, but thanks for dropping by.
Yeah. We're just messing around. That's like I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, they say they can't get tired of hearing your music.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, either that or Metallica, you know.
That or Metallica, there you go. Lance and I are just messing around. I guess this is about the closest we've been in playing together, like the entire time we've ever tried to play together. So basically, I'm just messing around and letting him take the lead. So I'm just doing some background stuff and letting him go. So
I could go grab a bass.
He figures out what key I'm in and then plays. I try to keep the key.
Not so much a key as a combination lock.
Yeah, pretty much.
Grab my bass.
Okay.
You can pick up the bass.
And you can play the guitar. And you can sing like a star.
Maybe remember to turn off the amp while you change.
Turn off the amp or it will pop.
Yes, loudly.
But this is a real tube amp too.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that with tube amp. No. That's expensive.
It's AC 15. It's not that expensive. AC 1.
Yeah, but it's annoying replacing tubes.
I have no idea if this is even close to in tune, but I'll find out.
Your T is doing a victory dance.
My T is doing a victory dance.
What did your tarantula defeat or conquer?
I'm trying to remember that turnaround. It's kind of screwing me up. Well, actually, while I'm sitting here, if anybody has any questions for the Duskmeister, throw them out there, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Good night, veteran. Thanks for tuning in.
Night, night.
Which pieces do you have on your wall? Asks Mr. Sean.
Oh,
Yes.
pieces I have on my wall.
Artworks. Yeah, tell us about it. Tell
Oh,
us
geez,
about
I got the $1,000 print, the $1,000 original that I got from this gentleman, which is my Canadian Lynx OC character on my Buell X1, which I owned at the time.
That's actually in my room at the moment.
Yes. No,
Go-
it's
go-
downstairs. It's
The
downstairs.
different one. This is the one. I bet you.
I
Different
don't.
one.
No, it's downstairs.
The big one's downstairs.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
He needs the exercise.
He does. That has me on my X1 with my own cartoon character, Zena Zitos, actually Zarena Zena Zitos, who is a zebra character, holding the umbrella, like at a GP track. And it's actually staged on the starting line of Laguna Seca with the garage in the background and other motorcycles.
Oh, right. That's somebody else.
And awesome stuff. So yeah, that thing is huge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this one was
Yeah,
actually...
for some reason I thought that was you.
Nope. That's actually done by a very good friend of mine from Europe, who was actually a cartoonist for a magazine over there called Backstreet Heroes. So this is my Lynx character. This was my Buell X1, and this was done by a good friend of mine over in England, who was a cartoonist for Backstreet Heroes magazine. and I met him through my contacts at the motorcycle industry that I worked at the time. He came over for a trade show, and we were cartoonists, and it was all cartoons all the time. And just I got a letter from him one day with some magazines, and that was sitting in the middle of it, and it's like, it's freaking cool. So I've got that. I've got the one that he did. I've got another one that he did, which is, of course, Cruising the Canalot.
Yeah, well, of course.
So I've got that one on my wall. I've got another one, which is the S1 Buell. With Jessica on it. So I've got that one, which is an original. Oh yeah, here it comes.
Yeah.
So let me put this down.
Make room.
Handle carefully.
Yeah, be very careful with that, because that is, oh my God, check that out. Yes. So this is humongous. Yes. Check it out. Yeah, that's me.
I will temporarily switch over to the main.
Yeah, to the main.
Main camera. So
Main
folks have to
camera.
see that thing.
Check that out. Oh my God, look at that. Now you can see the reflection of what we can see. But yeah, that's my OC Lynx, Canadian Lynx, and Zorena Zenezitos, who's my comic book character, which was in my comic book that I did back in the day. And she's actually based on a girl that my mom grew up with, who was actually a Greek girl, and her name was Zorena Zenezitos, and it was really weird. I had to take that name and make it into something. And of course, this is the starting line at Laguna Seca with the garages. Yeah.
They're very distinctive.
Very
structures.
distinctive, very distinctive. So go ahead, take that back before it gets dropped. Oh my God. Yeah, but that's hanging up that hangs up in the dining room.
And of course, you've got some amazing Stan Sakai stuff too.
Oh yes, I've got two pieces of Stan Sakai art. Actually, a decade between them. I met Stan Sakai at Motor City Comic Con in 1994. So I bought an original from him at that time, and then I got an original from him in 2000. So I've got one from there, one from 2000. Now I need another one, so I can get another decade between them. Stan and I are actually friends. I've known him for 20 years plus.
Yeah.
So
Because you guys go back to like the early '90s.
we go back to the early 90s. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I also, what else is on my wall? I have a lot of the MLP comic books covers that I love that were signed by the guys. I've got the Good, the Bad, and the Ponies by Andy Price is on my wall. I've got a lot of the double Larry's Jetpack doubles are on my wall. I also have the original Tony Fleece artwork, which was the Sonic Rain Boom that the guys got for me for my birthday a couple of years ago.
And who did all? You
yes.
have all of the cool faux Equestria travel.
Yes.
Who did those?
That was, my brain's not working. Oh my God. She'll kill me. Oh, man.
I know who you're talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. She actually worked at Disney for a
Yes.
while. She was
Casey.
Casey, yes. Casey did those.
Those are great.
Those are awesome. She planned them out like the travel posters that you see at Disneyland when you're walking through. And I had to have them. Oh my God, I had to have these things. Yes.
And we framed those, didn't we? Or at least
Yes,
you-
I think we actually met McCall. Yes, yes, I think we did meet at that time. Remember that I put the hand-drawn Usagi Yojimbo T-shirts in the art show. Yes, these, which are the travel posters. Yeah, Casey did these. These are awesome! Oh my God!
Yes.
Yes, so these hang in the hallway over there with the Stan Sakai's. And here comes my first Stan Sakai original piece, which was from 1991. I'm sorry, 1994. 91. That's how old I am. That's an original Stan Sakai from 91. And the second one I got is from 2000. So this was actually framed in the hometown. I took this into my hometown frame in Marine City, Michigan. This place doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, that's how old that is.
And you got a couple of my wife's, if I remember.
Yes, I have a couple of smudges on the wall, which are go in with my Asian stuff. So that's the Asian wall. So I've got those two. There were a couple of Asian pieces that she did that I had to have. So she was showing those off. I'm taking those. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes, and that's these, which I had framed by you. Yeah. So these go in the Asian wall. These are cute. I love these. These are awesome. So yeah, I'm a huge original art collector. This one's called Parasol, and this one's called Wandering. So there's no name for the characters, just really nice.
So she created.
Yes, and of course I have a bajillion comic books.
Oh, by the way, how did your collecting comics panel?
Comics panel was sparsely attended, but I think it went over fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
We went over a whole lot of stuff. I showed off my Zagio Jumbo the first appearance of Zagio Jumbo, which is an Albedo number 2,
Mm-hmm.
which there's only like 2,000 or 3,000 copies of in the world.
Mm-hmm.
My Albedo number 1, which was only 1,500 printed, I got that one. A whole bunch of it. Yeah.
And how did? Because I didn't get. I got tied up doing other things at the con. How did the wrestling, hoof wrestling?
The
go?
hoof wrestling went over huge. The AV department kind of messed up a little bit with the videos that were supposed to be shown, but we got through it. Everyone had a great time. Everyone who saw it said they had a gas. So they had a great time. We raised $220, which I gave straight over to BabsCon for their charities. So that looked great.
Yeah.
We gave away a original Paper Ponies one-off, which was my character holding my opponent above my head, sort of like in the Rocky 2 scene where Rocky threw Thunderlips into the crowd. So that was awesome. It was a one-off. Yes, we're gonna get back to Button's mom in a minute. Yes, probably. Yeah, give just a second. Okay. Hold your horses, sis.
It'll get there.
It'll get there. Trust me.
Button's mom's coming along.
Button's mom's coming along. Yes, Lance will be back in a minute and he'll switch the cameras. I know I'm so boring. I am so boring. I know that. Yes. Does Dusty want con badge art? My treat for his birthday. Of course I would like con badge art. I love con badge art. I have tons of con badge art from all of the cons I've been to. I've gone to cons since like the early 90s. I've lost count of how many conventions I've gone to and how much art I have from art badges and all kinds of stuff. You know what? I am entertaining Octavia Melody with my music. There's no higher honor than being able to entertain someone of that stature in the music industry, to be entertaining to Octavia Melody. Okay.
So we got a request. People want to see, hey, how's this coming along?
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
It's a mystery.
How's Button's mom coming
How's
along?
Button's mom's going along?
Button's
Oh,
mom-
check
She's
that
got it
out.
going on.
Yeah, Button's mom's
got it-
coming along
got it
just
going on,
fine.
Tell us a funny story, Uncle Dusty. Okay.
Tell us an SCA story.
Oh, an SCA story. Let me think. A funny SCA story. Well, it's not so much funny, but I will tell you a story from when I was non-tier. So, I was never an anybody, right? I wasn't a hat, so I never won a principality coronet. I wasn't a squire to anybody, so I wasn't basically, a known name. But I was known enough because I helped start a canton in the area, and I was always at fighter practice. I was always helping other fighters, and so me and my lady went to a Crown tournament up in Portland, and we had started to know some people, right? And so on Saturday during the day when I was watching the list, because I wasn't actually fighting in the Crown tournament, I wasn't that good yet. One of the knights came over to me and said, "Hey, we want you to come over to this blacksmith's area at about 9 o'clock tonight. Can you do that?" I said, "Yeah, sure, not a problem. What's going on?" I said, "No, you'll find out." Okay, so I go over there at about 9 o'clock, and what they were doing was a pounding party. And now what that is that they needed 6 guys to help the blacksmith make a Damascus sword. At that point, the blacksmith had made a Damascus blank and needed 6 guys to basically work the anvil while he was drawing it and cutting it and welding it and all that kind of stuff. So basically, it was a high honor. I was the only guy who was not an anybody. I wasn't a hat, I wasn't a knight, I wasn't a squire, I wasn't anybody. But they thought enough of me to basically say, dude, we want you in this thing. So it was a very high honor for them to ask me to be part of that. So what would happen is that the blacksmith would put the billet in the fire, and when it was ready to pound, you got 3 guys around the anvil, and as he puts the piece on the anvil, he'd go, this guy go ding, he'd come up, this guy go ding, this guy go up, this guy go ding, this guy, and it would just go round and round and go ding 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 as the guy draws it in and out as he's making the billet longer, and then he'd fold it and weld it, and then we do it again and do it again, do it again. So we started at 9 o'clock at night, and we stopped at about 4 in the morning. And the cider was flowing, and the mead was flowing, and we were having a great time, and people would watch us, and it's nighttime, and as we're doing the welding, the sparks are flying. It was really cool, and I will never forget it, ever, because it was really fun to do with this whole group of people that were watching us do it. It was like really cool.
Yeah, I think Button's mom's coming along here all right.
You still got 9 more minutes of buttoning you can do.
Yeah, I guess I can get Buttonhole to put a little more details in here.
9 minutes, baby.
Yeah, let's put something right here on the bedding and everything like that. I have to wonder, either
Video game controller.
Button's dad must either be like
An idiot.
an on-the-road salesman.
He's a dum-dum.
He's in the military assigned overseas. Because I'd be working from home. Wait, if Dusty's our uncle and Baron's our grandfather, does that make Carolyn our great-great-grandfather?
Great-grandfather. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
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 I'm confused. I'm confused too.
Hey, I'm tired and there's wolves after me.
No, it's not like LARPing, Precious. It's not like LARPing at all because
No.
the SCA, we actually hit each other with rattan sticks
If it-
hard.
If it doesn't hurt, it
If
doesn't
it doesn't
count.
hurt, it doesn't count.
You
Yes.
count with bruises.
LARPing is like pokey pokey poke. No. We hit each other with sticks. Punk.
Yes.
And you wear metal all over yourself so you don't get hurt.
And you still
I
get
gave someone a
bruised.
concussion once. I was so proud.
Yes, people still get concussions. People still get hurt.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to do that.
No.
Lance, but there you go.
Oh no, he had it.
He had it coming. No,
One,
I
he
read
had it
that
coming.
story,
Two,
yeah.
it was his own damn fault. Three, was his own damn fault.
And 4, it was his own damn fault.
Well, he was not meeting armor standards. His helmet fit very
yeah.
loosely, and he was a fool.
Mhm. I do have an armor standard story. So, Principality Coronet Tourney. I'm going against a guy I've never fought before. He has this Spanish, beautiful chest piece, and it does this, and it comes around like that. So it's off his body by like about that much, right? And the thing about SCA fighting is that it's an honor system. This is like a martial art. If you get hit hard enough, you're supposed to fall down, you're dead. But you need to actually know what that feels like in the armor you wear. This is a brand new piece. You can tell it's a brand new piece. So I'm fighting this guy, and I pull this beautiful slot shot where I turn the thing over and I come down like this with the tip of the sword and I hit him right in the chest. Bing! And you could hear it rang off of everything in the list field, right? And he didn't take the shot. And I'm like for a split second go, what? And he just comes down and hits me in the head. I didn't get my shield up. It's like, okay, I fall down, he hit me in the head, I'm dead. Whatever. And there goes my Principality Coronet tournament. I'm sort of upset, but nothing I can do about it. So I get up and I'm walking off the list. And the list marshal at the time yells, hold. I stop, I come back. He comes back, and the guy who's the list marshal for this list is like a 2-time king, which is a duke. And he's like a really good fighter. And he goes to the gentleman and he goes, your lordship, you might want to look at your chest plate. And the guy looks down, and there's a dent this deep, that big, in his chest plate. And he went, oh, I'm dead. You're right. Do you want to give the gentleman the fight? He goes, yes, I'm done.
You do not want to get a reputation
Yes.
as a rhino hunter.
Do not get a reputation as a rhino
You won't
hunter.
get invited anywhere, and people will start taking cheap shots at you.
Yes, you will get hurt.
Let's see if we can split that cup.
Yes. I had that happen once.
Yeah, so I know somebody that said they took a glancing shot to the cup.
And
the
broke
cup
it.
split
Right down the middle.
right down the middle, and then it sort of came back
Yeah,
together again. And you
Pinch.
have never heard a
Pinch to pinch.
shriek.
Yes.
Yes.
I believe the term was squealed like a peeled weasel. Very evocative, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, I'm thank you, Gunnar, for that. I'm glad that me doing what I do made you comfortable enough to come out and say, yes, I'm a brony and I like having fun and I like doing my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the things that makes me very proud to do what I do is having you guys feel comfortable coming out and saying, I like my stuff and I can do whatever the heck I want. So that's part of being an adult. You can actually be proud of the things that you like. And everyone else can go, yes. I like that little turnaround I was just doing. I kind of just found that.
Okay, we got MC1594 saying hi to you.
Yo, what's up, MC? Are you somebody I know from my past? Because people like come up with new names, and I have no idea who you are. Even though we might know each other from like 20 years ago. Who knows?
And we are coming up on 8:30.
We are coming up on 8:30.
It is true.
So why don't
It's
we
almost
switch-
time for a break.
It's time for a break. Let me just put my signature on this.
Put your signature on that one.
I think Button's mom came
But
out.
Mom
okay.
is awesome.
I'll probably throw this one up on the store.
Yep, that's going on in the store. Trust me, that's an
Yeah,
Insta sale.
Which reminds me, next segment we're going to discuss store and timing.
Yes.
And things like that, and basically ways to give folks who are not necessarily North Americans a good shot at it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll be back in 5. Get up and stretch. I'm gonna get up and stretch. Get yourself something to drink. I'm probably getting something to drink. And
Be thinking about what you want for
Yep.
your requests
Yep.
for the last
Requests
hour.
for the last hour.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up.
See you in 5.
Take
See you
care.
5.
Welcome back.
Glaive, Guillaume Glaive.
Yes.
Ranseur.
Yes. Okay. All right. So we're on to the last hour.
We are
And
indeed.
there is a character who has been mentioned actually several times when requests have come up. I mean, repeatedly. And I haven't drawn this character actually. She's one of my OCs, and I haven't drawn her in a while. So I think I'm actually going to take a stab.
Abdul? Oh.
No, not Abdul. We're going to do Rumiko.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So the question is, Rumiko doing what?
Mm-hmm.
Let's let us hear your ideas on hobbies and activities for one Rumiko.
Mm-hmm.
Rumiko. Hoi.
Yes. Exactly.
So Rumiko desu ga.
Oi.
Wakarimasu ka?
And I know this will make Dave and a couple other people happy in the. Okay, so. Boom, boom, boom. Need to go to Angel and Night Prime.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen anything from that particular.
Neck of the woods.
Yep.
Okay, actually, I'm going to have to go to a different source. That's okay. We'll go here, and we'll go here, and we'll go here, and we'll go here.
Actually, Frank, there's something very similar to what you asked for. The Japanese tea ceremony.
Yeah.
There's Geisha Rosemary is up in Baron's gallery.
Yeah, it's up in there, or it's for sale on the store. Okay, so let's go here and go to my gallery.
Foxfire, this is the exact color of my car.
Yes.
I can't. Yeah, so of course I promised not to go anywhere where either Norteños or Bloods are located. That's because this is their color too. No, the gangbangers, yo, it's Toxic Mario.
Oh, we got Toxic Mario. BabsCon was a blast.
We had fun. Rumiko singing Karaoke.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Yeah, we're just doing the request thing. We settled on Rumiko. Yeah, and now it's doing Watiko.
Yes. Rumiko Hasakawa from my Angel and Night Prime. Well, actually, she's in Angel and Night, all the Angel and Night Prime, Alternate 1 and Alternate 2 Dreamscapes.
Indeedy.
She's the school counselor in the Alternate 1. Oh, no, she's the... she's the base physician in Alternate 1, and she's the school counselor for the elementary school in Alternate 2.
Oh, Frank Sneaky. He meant Rumiko performing a Japanese tea ceremony with Rosemary.
Yeah.
See what you want there.
So, sneaky, very sneaky.
Yeah, we know, Bravo. We know.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, Rumiko is somebody you would have to follow Baron's Angel and Night universe to know much about.
And I need to get around to getting back. That one's several of our dreamscapes are slowly starting to come back to life. It's just finding 28 hours in the day to
Nurse Rumiko. Let's see.
Does that make a good one? Does that make a good one? I can do better than that. Can I? Yeah, I can do better than that. Do.
Clickety click.
Yes, clickety click. Yes, it.
Oh, yeah, of course, in a sailor schoolgirl Fuku.
That could be possibly right.
There is no wrong way to Fuku.
That's yes. I will. Concur.
No wrong way to Fuku size.
No, I mean, hell, Twilight came out when I did that Anthro Twilight.
Oh yeah.
And Celestia. But that piece actually found itself a nice home in the UK. New customer.
Glad to hear that, Hyphen. He finally Patreon was finally nice to his credit card.
Okay, good. Yeah, they had some problems earlier this week. We got a notice saying that they could not distribute any payments or take payments because they were sorting something out. And I know they're fairly serious about their. There we go. Perfect. There we go. We'll go with that.
So as long as they don't miss any billings.
Yeah.
All right. That
Okay.
looks like you are ready to begin the
Yeah.
process of doing the drawing thing. So I'm going to click on this because that's the kind of guy I am.
Oh, I posted some stuff. Unfortunately, it's mostly been actually on FA. I need to get around to putting some of her stuff up on DA. Unfortunately, I need to track down some of the sketchbooks. Some of the sketchbooks have kind of gone Elvis. They're not ones.
Or you sold them.
No, I haven't sold them yet. I know that for a fact. But I just got so many sketchbooks. I need to get back to doing the eBay auctions because I'm starting to trip underfoot with them again. Even though I am doing so much of my stuff now in the single sheets like this.
So Toxic, actually you missed Dusty was on earlier. Dusty, actually, I don't think Dusty has been to Japan. I know he's been to Taiwan and Korea.
Yeah. He has fans and supporters in Japan. Let's see now. I want to do this. Need more Brandon Brigade.
Indeed. Whack.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Doing a lot of landscape format tonight. Okay.
I hate the C chord. Hate. Somebody kill a chord of C for me. Take it out and shoot it in the head.
I can see what we can done.
Actually, I'm going to take this over here. And I'm going to grab my electric.
Okay.
This seems to be doing better tonight.
Now, I always thought it'd be kind of amusing at some point to do like a crossover picture of Rumiko and Maud, because they would get along just fine.
They reach. They understand.
Yes.
They are indeed two of a kind. Which one's my really, really long cable? Long cable, I need you right now.
And she lives up in the Prime universe, Dreamscape. She lives up in the Santa Cruz Hills, or Saratoga Hills, actually, which is at the base of Santa Cruz Mountains. And she rents effectively a granny cottage in the back of this fairly large.
The in-law cottage.
Yeah, and she likes it. It's nice and quiet. It's by a creek. There's lots of trees. And she can, when she's not at work, she enjoys this. Quite often just sitting in the windowsill reading, which is what I'm trying to draw.
Nothing. Part of it is that Baron uses say much harder leads than a lot of people would use in a pencil of that sort. You know, you're using was it?
I'm using 2B, which actually is one of the hardest mechanical pencil leads you can use.
Yeah, you can cut things.
Yeah, well, no, it's one of the softest. 2B is one of the softest you can buy. They make 4B now, and I do have a pencil with that. But when I'm saying my initial things in, because in case I need to erase a line, and this is actually one of the problems I have working on a tablet, is even with a Cintiq, I sometimes have issues with it not being able to give me the same degree of control and sensitivity I can get with traditional media, which is something I am working on. I've been reading. Clear Skies gave me a whole lot of useful books on digital art, and I'm going through and actually reading them and starting to do some of the tutorials and tests and experiments in there. I have hope that that's going to give some good results.
Toxic would like to hear a story about origination of one of your dreamscapes.
Origination of one of my dreamscapes. Okay.
Yeah, say again. You've got several going.
Yeah.
Give us an origin.
Okay, well, I'll give you an origin. I'll give you an origin for Ander. Ander is the dreamscapes I have. Now, I had some dreamscapes back when I was a kid, but I haven't had dreamscapes literally in decades in those. Ander is the one that is still kind of there. It still pops up occasionally. In fact, recently I had to kind of go back there and start getting things back up to speed dream. That one started in 1992. And one night I woke up on the deck of this ship, and it was a sailing ship, and it was a very warm day, and I had this, I was woken up by basically, hey, wake up, we're almost there. And I went, what? And there was this anthropomorphic Canid type character standing over me, and I said, where? And he says, Ander. And I looked up, and there was this very Middle Eastern coastal city that this ship was sailing on towards. And I found out later it was referred to as the ship. And the ship existed to basically bring newcomers to Ander. It had been doing this for over 1,000 years. It had been documented. It always was the same ship. And it was one of these things where, everyone could describe the ship, but they're, no one could ever exactly certain what the captain looked like, and everyone was positive that, they had, seen crew members come off the ship, but no one was absolutely certain. And it was always a merchant who said he heard of some other merchant who had done business with the ship, but and the ship would always disappear in the night. It would always be gone. But people in Ander knew usually the day the ship was going to arrive, and so I arrived and rolled up, and I was wearing basically all this appropriately period 14th century garb, and I asked the shipman, I said, can I go back? And they said, yeah, if you've got enough money. I said, how much money is that? And he said, well, it's this much, and I happen to have a coin purse, and I looked in there, and of course I didn't have enough money, so I was stuck in Ander. And there was basically a procession waiting on the dock, and they were sent down by the Sultan. And in particular, it was one individual I met. His name was Harshak, and he was the Minister of Internal Security and Tranquility for the Sultanate of Ander. And I later was able to parse together that Ander was actually located in what would be around Somalia, but the geography was different, and it was a very large natural harbor that appeared to have been created quite some time ago by a large asteroid impact, because there was Rebound Peak Island in the center of the thing. And I was kind of annoyed, because in that dream I knew I had clients, I had to get work done, I had a big commercial project I was trying to get finished, and I was going to be late, and all of a sudden I was stuck in this weird Sinbad Aladdin landscape, and I was taken up to the palace, and I was introduced. And of course, one of the things that was also very annoying was I kept on talking about look, I got stuck on this boat. I don't know how I got on this boat, and the crew explained to me, well, no, it's not a boat, it's a ship. You row a boat. And then people, I said, well, yeah, and I end up on this boat, and Harshak's going, no, you row a boat, you sail a ship. And I was like, okay, fine, I get it. And so I was actually stuck there for a while, and the Sultan had learned that it was kind of a good idea, actually, to kind of, keep an eye on these newcomers, because they were people who always brought interesting ideas to his kingdom. And his father had told him this, and his grandfather had told him this, etc., and it went down through the centuries. The particular family that was the Sultan at the moment had been in control of Ander for about 300 years. And they started asking me, well, what can you do? And I said, well, I can draw and paint. And so I got a job kind of at the palace being a limner, doing illustration work, and eventually it was going to be a muralist, and I started doing mural work. But that, I had to wait till I could get back to the modern world, and that happened one day strictly by accident when I was walking through part of the palace, bemoaning the fact that I was late on getting a project done, and it wasn't happening, and then next thing I knew, I was in a bathroom stall at a hotel that I knew of in San Jose, where we used to go to conventions all the time. And oh, hey, great! And it was kind of interesting, because over the next few months I ended up going back to Ander, and eventually a lot of the characters from my just regular Dreamscape just started showing up there. Patina was one of the characters who did not have to arrive on the ship. She never did explain how she got there. She just said, I have my ways. One of my roommates, Rindis, James Lowry, he also didn't arrive. On the ship. But almost everybody, including Rosemary, arrived on this dhow. And if you go to my DeviantArt and you look at the Ander Dreamscape gallery I actually have a drawing of the ship.
You wouldn't happen to have been reading Michael Moorcock at the time, Sailor on the Seas of Fate?
No, I was not. I was at the time reading a lot of Osprey Men-at-Arms books about the various Arabic armies at the time period, and kind of some of the competing bids for I'm the Caliphate, no, I'm the Caliph, and all the fun that Now, I had read Moorcock about a decade before, so I wasn't completely unfamiliar with it. And as I stayed there, I just started meeting more and more, people who are natives there, or folks who like Vipra eventually showed up. I say Rosemary eventually showed up. Bettina showed up, and of course Bettina automatically starts setting up her own business empire, because that's what Bettina does.
She is in the business of business.
Yep. And she actually started her own shipping company, White Lady Shipping Company. And Dusty Shub, you were there for a while. You went back to the modern world. You were working for Bettina, basically, kind of collecting information.
I'm a spy.
Yeah, you were. You were kind of doing the James Bond thing.
Bomb. James Bomb. The only submarine even is yellow. We all live in a yellow submarine.
And now they're fairly immersive, but they're not as immersive as the Equestria Dreamscape are. I mean, in Andor, I can smell and I can touch and I can hear and see. I don't have taste. That's the one thing about the Equestria Dreamscapes. I have my sense of taste, so it's really like lots of fun to go and eat and know that I'm not going to have to go like exercise to work off the results. And of course, my dreamscapes, if something happens one night, I wake up, I remember it, and then like next night I go to sleep, and then I pick up the dream quite often right where I left off.
He has his own soap operas. It's going to be a cable TV channel.
Well, I have had people say, the joke of, I want to book my vacation in your head.
Well, the unfun dreams are not the ones you.
No.
Apple Bloom gets the bulk of those.
Well, yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Even though I am playing up some stuff like this week, that's like not everything is doom and gloom for the poor little filly. I was not sure we get around actually putting her head in. Of course, it's in Andor I have either one of two forms. I'm either a 5'2" tall raccoon, or I'm an 8.5" tall mouse. And there is more than one raccoon version of me. There's actually 12. And one of the raccoons is assigned to Smudge, who does show up in Andor, and of course, because my wife gets number 1. Number 2 raccoon is assigned to Rosemary, since I've been, she's been involved in dreams since way back when, and the rest of them just kind of float around and act like the phantom camera crew that our characters can't see, and they kind of film events that I'm not actually physically present there, but my subconscious seems to think I need to be informed about the information for later.
So we have a question, basically. What is Rumiko?
Rumiko is a domestic feline. She's got that kind of...
Rumicat.
Yeah, she's got that kind of calico, like all the lucky kitty piggy banks you see in anime and manga, and then you go to Japan panel.
She does that little one hand up thing all the time.
Yeah.
A baker's dozen of barons, a fistful of barons. Barons, cheaper by the gross, and some of the dreams are.
Yep.
And Cat's Nightmare says, if I recall, wasn't there an invasion or some kind of war coming to Andor?
Yes, there was. And that's the big thing that's kind of the limbo that Bettina's been kind of going, we need to get back to this. And, we've had all these kinds of really annoying, like, PowerPoint presentation things from her. The main war, we think we have won. What we don't realize is that the real enemy is actually slipped into Andor and is about to, if we don't stop them, do something really, really horrible that's going to almost like unmake the world type event. So it's like, well, we need to fix this. And it's involving at least one character, or actually two characters from a previous Andor Dream arc. And one of those characters actually ended up in the Angel and Knight Prime first season Dream arc. I call Angel and Knight Dream arcs usually seasons because unlike most of my other dreams, the Angel and Knight dreams always have opening and closing credits with music and everything like that. So it's like a TV series, and it has a soundtrack to it. Good night, McClaw. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, since the embargo is lifted, embargo. Season 7 opener. What did folks think? Fair warning, there may be spoilers. I will say this, I did not get everything that I wanted, but it was as close to a Celestia episode as we've had until now.
Yep.
And that made me very pleased.
Yes.
Yeah, particularly because we got to see Celestia as more, quote, human, unquote.
Mm-hmm. She's not infallible.
Hopes, fears, shortcomings, and, occasional, well, that might be considered rude, but I'd say about what the heck she's got cause. And permission.
Mm-hmm.
The line.
Yes.
Well, that was the other one. I did not realize that was an expression.
Mm-hmm.
But appropriate, since I don't know either.
Yes. And Patina loves Celestia. I mean, she always liked Celestia, but Celestia shot way up high on her list because of that line.
What kind of drinks were served at BabsCon? We both had. I think we both laid into the scotch.
Yeah. The scotch was good, and they actually made a decent old-fashioned.
Yeah.
At the bar. They made a pretty good old-fashioned. Not as good as that fellow at PonyCon, but, definitely worth drinking.
Yeah. So where do we rank Flurry Heart in terms of the Pony Princess ranking? There's nothing to latch onto yet.
Yeah.
There's no personality there, so I would say number 6. Well, and you have to include Princess Big Mac. This is Princess Big Mac. E-up. This is Princess Big Mac. E-up. E-up. Nope, yup.
Yeah. Flurry Heart right now is strictly a force of nature.
Yeah, exactly. She's
She's
not really a character yet. Not really.
Which is kind of like how toddlers are, anyways.
Well, okay. So again, we're still under embargo here, so can't say too much about this week's episode. But we still need to get. She's not ready. Yes, we will hit the sponsor shortly. Is it generic? You hear that, Mike? Ain't gonna get hit. Yeah.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah. Well, it's toxic. We're not talking about the new episode yet.
Yep. And I did like the bottled up.
Yeah.
Because Trixie really is trying to be Glimglam's friend, but she's just a jerk still at times.
Well, you did the worst thing you could possibly do to Trixie. She got praised.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hyphen says, you need to get Peter New to do some Princess Big Mac lines. He has cosplayed as Princess Big Mac.
Yeah.
Had his own costume made up with the tutu and the red bodysuit and the wings and the little crown. Mr. New has no problem at all looking silly in a good cause.
Yes.
Yeah, but Toxic, say really, there's just don't know enough about about her. I mean, she doesn't really have a personality yet, and that's what drives it more than anything else. It's not the position within Kingdom or about or what drives stories or anything like that. It is the person behind the paint,
Mm-hmm.
and that is why I identify with Celestia more than any of the others, mostly because I've had to be in a position where I had to make up my mind about who gets fired, who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of times I've had to show people the door, who had been roommates in my house who had just not been upholding their part of the bargain despite repeated counselings.
Yep.
And finally had to say, you have to go. I'm sorry. And that was never easy.
No, that was one of the things when I worked at University of Art. There was several occasions where I had friends I knew, some from the fandom, from outside, who were artists who came to me and said, "Hey, look, I'm thinking about, I put in a job application and everything like that," and I would get, they'd put me down as a reference, and Mike would call me back and he'd say, "So and so's put in their job application. What do you think?" And there was several occasions where I had to say,
Don't do it.
I
Yeah.
really like this person. They're a great person, but I wouldn't want to work with them. They don't have the right attitude and work ethic. And, if this goes bad, you're going to be looking at me saying, "Hey, you recommended this person."
Yeah, I'm not going to stick it on the chopping block for that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to
That's
pick,
hard.
Yeah. So number 2 best princess for me is
Luna.
not for me.
Really?
Probably
Vikings? Or Book Horse?
Book Horse.
Okay.
Luna would be number 3. So mostly because she represents the rebellious teenager, and while I was one once, I'm not now, and I don't have a lot of patience for that particular. I understand, been there, been that, but looking back, I was kind of a jerkwad at times, and so was Luna.
Mm-hmm.
Luna is even, of course, and nowadays with her current personality, just comes off as a little bit flat. I mean, she needs more fire and thunder.
Mm-hmm.
But now she's too much one note for me. And while Cadence is a very nice pony, and she has the best 3/4 profile of any of the poems, she has the worst straight across profile. She is too perfect.
Mm.
There's no personality there to really latch onto, and
I guess
which is the same thing with her Hellspawn.
I guess for me, I just still don't. I know. Yes, Twilight's a princess and everything, but I still think of Twilight as Twilight. And I still put her in as part of the main 6. So I don't think of her as a princess.
So of course there's Princess Big Man.
Mm-hmm.
But and I suppose we don't count Chrysalis as a princess because she's a queen.
Yeah,
Queens are evil. Just ask Disney.
Yeah, and it's gonna be very interesting to see what they do with her. I'm actually very happy they did not have a redemption moment at the end of season 6. It's like, nope, she's still out there and she's still kicking.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't have any real problem with any of the princesses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't dislike any of them. But again, if it's comes down to ranking, which ones would I like to to spend a long afternoon with?
Talking.
It's talking. Get your minds out of the gutters, folks. For that I have other poems. Celestia would be definitely at the top of the list.
Yeah, Twilight would be a good one also to be able to sit around.
Right.
Well, that's why as far as my favorite poem, it's AJ, and then it's usually Twilight is number 2.
Well, we're talking princesses, yeah.
I know. But even before she was a princess, Twilight was number 2. I mean, I'd have to constantly be telling Twilight to stop and explain something, but it'd be fascinating to, just watch her get on a roll.
Yeah, and I am glad that say Chrissy did not get the the wham bam reformed you, ma'am. She needs to be a villain, which reminds me that sometime in the next few episodes they need to start dropping the foreboding if she's going to be in foreshadowing if she's going to be in later on episodes.
Yep. Or maybe not. Maybe she's going to be gone for a couple of seasons or so.
Yeah, well, we do have season 8.
Yes.
We do have season 8, and
For
as
certain.
we have seen, the writing staff is perfectly willing to do a throw and catch that spans multiple years.
Yep.
Yeah. So the other question from good old Toxic, because Toxic comes up with the best questions. What is the most ridiculous thing you've ever drawn, both by commission or out of your own free mind? Keyword is ridiculous. Not necessarily embarrassing,
No, ridiculous.
but just ridiculous. Just silly stuff.
Probably the silliest thing that I've drawn, and I'm actually proud of it too. And it actually got used in the pitch for a TV series. Was back in the 90s, I was doing illustration work for the game magazine Shadis. And I got an assignment for one job where I needed to do weird and wacky artifacts that GMs might throw into a game that the players would come across. And so this is just completely Monty Python type stuff. We're talking about giant rabbits get shot over castle walls, stuff like that. And I remember one of the things I did was this sketch as a rough idea for them. Yes, no, do you like this? Of these Easter Island big moa heads, and they're blasting off like ICBMs into the sky, and they've got these big happy grins on their face like, I'm off this island, I'm going someplace. They didn't like that idea. They said that was too weird, but they did like the idea of the Sphinx with a propeller beanie.
And we say hello to Flufflepuff.
Hey!
Indeed. So how are you doing, Fluffle?
Yes. Welcome to the stream. So I liked the idea of rocketing Easter Island heads, and if you actually,
Yes, I remember that one.
yes,
Taking off, I think it was.
heading out.
Heading out. That was one.
And so I played around with the idea some more, and then back in the late 90s, Smudge, myself, and another fellow by the name of Ed Goldstein were
I remember Ed.
we're writing up a proposal idea for a TV series called Adventures of Antiquity, and the Easter Island heads were going to be part of the Easter Island Earth orbital defense system, which basically they'd launch these things up and intercept any kind of spacecraft coming from far off distant worlds by running into them and then knocking them out of the sky.
Nice.
And Smudge's dad actually liked the piece so much that he bought it. And this guy's, he's a Montana farmer. He ran a machine shop. He's been a gold miner. Just a really kind of solid, salt of the earth type guy. And he looked at us like, I gotta have this. And I'm going, you're kidding. He said, no, I'll buy it. He's like, okay. So it hangs in her parents' place up in the gold country.
Let me see if I can find that. I'm
I
guessing.
actually wore, we did an experiment, and we may still come back to it at some point, of doing a crowdsourcing of putting that image on a T-shirt.
See what
I
happens.
wore it for one of the streams actually one time. Should probably wear it again.
There we go. Here we go. Heading out final by BaronEngel on DeviantArt.
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. Save image. Blah, 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 blah. It's okay. It's the end of that fine.
Back to that.
And then we do this. And I say this.
Another drawing over
And I say click on that thing right here. And double click. Image. Resize, resample. Height. 720. And preserve aspect ratio.
Yeah, she's got on the back, good, and she's got on the
File.
tail.
Save. And overwrite yes, because that means that now I can go over to here and I can show all the happy people the good stuff.
Out there in the world.
Hello, all you happy people. Okay, let's see. We are in.
That was a pretty good droopy.
You know what? That makes me happy. Bam. There we go. Whoop. That needs to be edit scene. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Click. And then we say position size, reset size. Bam.
And bam.
Bam!
Yep, that's it right there.
There we go. Heading out. Intercontinental ballistic happy statues.
So you like her legs?
And I'm going to take care of some business right now. I'm going to do that and I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a moment to say thank you to University Art, who was kind enough to sponsor Baron, provide him all kinds of art supplies and stuffs.
Mm-hmm.
They are the premier high-end framing shop in the Bay Area, having handled things like original Picassos, original Rembrandts, and an original Nobel Prize Award letter.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they're where I get all of my framing done. Baron worked there for 20 years, and again, I wouldn't trust my stuff to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
They have stores in Sacramento and Redwood City and San Jose, and a very knowledgeable staff.
Yep.
Although not as knowledgeable as they used to be ever since Baron said, "I'm done. I'm going to go be an artist."
Yeah, but
Their loss.
But I will admit, in the last year, Mike has been able to bring some new people in that have some real talent and some real passion for the store, and it makes me feel good because when you leave, you've worked for 20 years at a place, you're kind of going, how's it going to do when I'm gone? Is it going to carry on? You're kind of like the parent, and you're worrying about your kid heading off to college.
Exactly.
And it made me feel a lot better going, okay, it will carry on without me.
Yep. Hello, Daff. If I remember correctly, Daff is fairly artistic too.
Oh.
In which case, yeah.
Yeah.
Rumiko is a calico? Yes, she is.
Yes, she is, and yes, I apparently draw good legs. That's been several people have commented about the fact that apparently I draw
Drumsticks and thighs.
Yeah, I draw good drumsticks and thighs.
Let's see. Yeah, actually, if you ever do get something done by Baron, just have him frame it before he ships it.
Yeah,
So,
I
make it easy.
Yeah.
And he also knows how to pack that stuff too.
Yeah, even though I have to admit, boy howdy, if the U.S. Postal Service didn't try to undo my packaging on one of his packages recently. Like, really, guys, really? Fortunately,
Photographs do not bend. Oh yes,
they do, and that's what they tried doing.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. She's a very sweet character, and she's a very calming influence.
Yeah. Horse. Legs.
Yep.
She got legs right up to her neck.
Clear up to her belly.
Kate, pumpkin chucking, yeah. Yes, yeah. In which Texans demonstrate the best possible use for a pumpkin, which is fired at your neighbors 1 mile away.
Well, I know in Pennsylvania they do that pumpkin chucking every year because Adam Savage from Mythbusters now is a big.
Yes. So Tox wants to know what's the biggest or the most expensive thing I ever had to mail, or ever had to mail. That would be my Weatherby 460 Magnum rifle.
that probably costs a fair penny.
Yeah. Yes, and the post office tried to give me all those. Oh, you can't. It's like, no, it's going. It's going to an FFL. About what? I don't know. It's like, okay, fine. I'll have FedEx do it. So, but yeah, that was when I transferred that to a friend in Colorado. Because 460 Weatherby Magnum, more gun than I could really handle well.
It's literally a hand cannon.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, I'm a recoil queen, but I'm telling you, that was a little bit much, and it was mostly a show off thing. It's like, what are you gonna hunt? What are you gonna hunt in North America with a 460 Weatherby Magnum? It was like, no elephants, no Cape Buffalo, black helicopters.
Yeah.
No, it's like no. It was just basically being the biggest kid on the block, and I finally decided, that's a poor reason to own one of these things. I will stick to a 300 Win Mag and be happy with it.
Well, we were doing all kinds of horses earlier this evening, and we decided, well, we're going to do something different. This is one of my characters that I haven't drawn in ages, even though she does pop up, every once in a while. I'm going to move this tape for a second so I can finish this window frame.
Yeah. Did I ever hand load 460? That's the only way you can afford to feed those things. I used to do a lot of hand loading.
Yeah, if you had to buy, it was like $125 a box.
About 95 the ones I was getting. Yeah.
Okay.
But I could reload them for about a $1.25, $1.50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could also set the power load how you want it, so if you didn't want to.
Oh, I was getting 8,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. I was shooting 450 grain Barnes X bullets, and I was getting about 2,900 feet per second.
Yeah, I have to admit, 416 Remington Magnum is where I just like, okay, I've hit my wall. Really, in all honesty, probably 375 Holland and Holland would be my max. But like 300 Winchester Magnum would be much more, 30-06 will get the job done for most of the things I need to be.
Yeah.
Even though I have to admit that Siamese Mauser in 4570.
Yeah, which we need to get re-blued. The guy that did the bluing didn't do a very good job.
Yeah.
It's got a couple of rust spots.
Ooh.
Nothing actually. Okay, thank you. No, I used to do competition shooting. Division of Civilian Marksmanship, DCM OCMP, Office of Civilian Marksmanship Programs. The U.S. government sponsored or U.S. Army sponsored civilian rifle contests.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. The same government that says we don't want you to have is also saying, hey, if you do these competitions, we'll send you some for free or very near free. And again, very schizophrenic, but then what do you expect? We're a country of 350 million people. We have a freakishly huge government. There's plenty of room for opposing viewpoints within the same government.
Yep.
Yeah. But so I did that, and I did IPSC, falling plate stuff.
I did a little bit of IPSC. Most of the competition as far as shooting I did was archery in college. I paid some of my bills.
Toxic, what you're talking about is the Curios and Relics Law. What it means, so what that is that you don't have to fill out certain forms, and they're exempt from certain waiting periods, etc., etc. You still have to, do it through a firearms dealer, but it's a lower bar.
And certain AR-15s now qualify as CNR.
Not in California.
Not in California, but by federal law. But by federal law, they do.
Yeah.
Because actually Ian McCollum on Forgotten Weapons did a video where he says, this one actually qualifies as CNR, because it's the right serial number sequence. Okay, I got about 10 more minutes here.
Yep.
Get a little more details here on Rumico.
But like I said, I used to go to the gun range with that thing, and I would get all my other shooting done early, because I knew what shape I would be in after this thing. And so the last course of fire of the day for me, I'd bring this thing out, and people were like, oh, what's that? It's a Weatherby. Oh, a real Weatherby. And then range master, go to your positions. And this thing had a muzzle brake, which was the only thing that made it even vaguely handleable. Muzzle brakes use some of the gunpowder gas to reduce recoil.
By directing something back to you in some cases.
Well, yeah, which means that it's louder for you.
And on either side of you.
Yeah, and people go bang, 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 and you don't want to fire these things from the bench because your body needs to be able to give to absorb the recoil. If you're seated and shoved up against it, you're just gonna eat it all.
Eat being not the whole word.
Right, and I had one of those shooter's pads on the shoulder that under impact it suddenly becomes incredibly stiff and rigid. It's like NASA foam and all that.
Yeah.
It's called a PAST pad.
And it had a good recoil pad on that thing too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it still hurt. I would come back with a giant bruise on my shoulder. Mostly because I don't have a lot of upper body musculature, so it would smish my meat between the end of between the butt of the gun and the bones in the shoulder. So I came home with a honey of a bruise. It'd be bang, 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 boom.
And all fan the rain stops.
Silence. And everybody just like, oh look, and there were two things that came out of everybody's mouth. Number one is, what the hell is that? Oh, it's a Weatherby 460 Magnum. Second question was, can I shoot it?
You want to pay for it.
And I said, you drop it, you buy it. And tell them how much it costs and go, oh, But so I had several people took me up on the offer. None of them wanted to shoot it twice.
Yeah, like I said, I passed on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a flinch. I do not want to develop one.
Like I say, that 416 we took out, especially after that one time when I was doing the snap shoot and I didn't get a proper cheek weld on it. And right as I touched off the trigger, I went, you know what? I don't think I have this thing exactly where I want. And that was the one time where I was like, okay, I think I just hurt myself.
Yeah, in other words, you did not have a proper weld yet.
No, I didn't have a proper weld when I touched off the trigger. Because I fired like 4 rounds in a row. This isn't too bad. I mean, yeah, I'm getting pushed around all over the place, but I just didn't have my cheek welded.
Yep.
And it came up right into the face.
Well, that 30-06 Browning you have is a 6.5 pound gun.
Yep.
If you have a bad weld,
I'll let you know.
it's going to hit you just as hard.
Yeah,
every bit as hard.
Yep.
Because that 416 was a 10 pound gun.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. But
I haven't had any cases where I've done bad welds with that A-bolt.
yeah.
And,
Well, the ergo is just right.
yeah.
And it's also scary accurate.
Mm-hmm. It's better than I can.
Well, on my very, very best days, I was consistently doing 3/4 inch clusters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's 5-shot clusters, not 3.
Yeah.
And none of this throw away the flyer. No, that's BS.
Yep. Cold zero. First shot counts.
Yeah, that was back when I was actually doing Oh, this is kind of funny. Back when I was doing the competition shooting, the DCM competitions are done with military rifles, mostly bolt action World War I rifles, with the occasional Korean War era M1s. But some people do use AR-15s. I had an AR-15. It was a factory competition model, and there was this guy at work. Mr. Objectivist, Mr. can quote Ayn Rand, Mr. blah, 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 I should be on top because I'm smarter than everybody else. Did not like him. He was also a developer, and I was testing, his products he worked on, and specifically the areas of the product, the features that he worked on, and he never really took my bug reports seriously. He's like, oh, no, it must be user error. No, you must have set it up wrong. And it was never true. Fine. So one day, it's just getting on towards Friday, and he's like, hey, what's going on for the weekend? I was like, oh, I'm going up to Chabot Gun Club. They're having a DCM shoot. Oh, I'm going up there too. Hey, we'll both go. I can show you how it's done.
Right.
It was on.
Yeah.
It's on. Really, Bob? Really? Okay, we'll see. And we get up there, and that was the best that I ever did in my life. I shot a 484, which was a high master.
That's like what?
Came in second.
Yeah, 600 max, I believe.
Yeah, 600 max. Yeah, and getting anything above 500 is really, really good. And he shot a 192. He sucked. He tried to say, "Oh my God, the sights are off. Who maintains your guns?" I do. Shut up.
Yeah.
And he was thoroughly. He had talked himself up, and he thoroughly humiliated himself. And after that, funny, he started taking my bugs more seriously. And he started listening to me when I said, "Look, you should, here's this thing this feature needs to do." You know, I was like, yeah.
And it was like when I was in shooting archery all the time. There was one guy who always used to show up at the range, and every week his equipment was different. Maybe not the same bow, but he'd have something that was new about his equipment, and he never took the time to really develop good form, good follow through, understand what his equipment could do, and then tune all the components so they worked harmoniously as one element. And he was always, once I get this thing, or I buy this scope, or when I get these new arrows, everything's gonna be perfect. And it's like, no, it won't. And I remember consistently we would have these things where put your money down, see if you can hit, a target, and I would leave with my original seed money, and then usually with his money and some other folks' money, because I had spent hours tuning my gear to shoot just right.
Yeah, and they are so personal.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
All right, it's almost 9:30. We should probably switch cameras here.
Yeah,
I got room to go in here fairly well.
Meow. Okay. Is there anything a 375 would not take down? If you have the right load, it'll do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the big if.
I mean, really, what it more comes down to is a matter of knowing where to take the shot and when to take the shot.
Yep, and when not to.
Yeah, when not to. But as much of knowing how to shoot as knowing when not to shoot.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, folks. This has been a good stream.
Yep, it's been a great stream. We've had some great people on. Got a chance to talk to you folks about. Oh, no, actually, there's one thing we do want to discuss before we.
That's right.
Yes. Okay. I have been usually posting stuff on the Smudge Marks and Engleworks website midweek, and I've been doing it in the morning, like one of the
Morning Pacific.
Yeah. Basically, go through. Okay, my checklist things I need to get done today. Get stuff up. I have been noticing that in some cases stuff has only been staying up on the store for maybe a couple hours, and then it sells.
Which is kind of rough on the European folk. And,
Yeah, or if you're on the East Coast and you've gone to work or something like that. So what I'm wondering about is when would be better if I say put the stuff up on say like the weekend?
Generic, it's because he's married and he's not allowed to date anymore. Gotcha. All right, continue.
I'll get you back for that one. I basically when I do finished pieces like commissions and colored finish work, I'll put the dates on those. These guys, I'm throwing them out. I can put a date on them if I guess I wanted to. I can usually remember when they're around. What I wanted to ask was, well, this stuff, like this will go up on the Smudge Marks and Engleworks website. And you can check my store, or check my DeviantArt, check my Twitter. I make announcements when things go up. But what I'm thinking about is, would it be better if I put things up on, like, say, the weekend? That might give people more chances to, get a hand on this thing. Would that maybe be better for you guys, or should I just keep putting the stuff up on?
Mix it up.
Mix it up. 1 week, maybe do it on, the. They killed Baron, you bastards.
Ski day.
Yeah. Now, of course, if you go to the Smudge Marks Engleworks website, it's just if you want, you put in your shopping cart, bam, you buy it. I will be getting back now that. I guess I was waiting until after tax season was over and everything like that. Yeah. I'll start putting the sketchbooks back up on DeviantArt, not DeviantArt, on eBay. So those will be up too.
Horse Baron's black and white sketches like you see here tonight. Generally, he puts them up for between $40 and $60, depending upon how complex they are.
45 to 65. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a little more complicated. Like say that one I did Rosemary with the tea garden.
That's a double.
Yeah, that was like $90, for it. And I do take commissions. So that's definitely another possibility too. Yeah, roughly 50, about there. Yeah.
Yeah, and if the stuff on Smudge Marks Engelworks, which is his home site, there's a link down below. See, those are flat price.
Yes, they
first
are.
come, first serve. You mostly do eBay for the big stuff.
That's right, for like the sketchbooks and things like that.
Yeah, well, keep an eye out for that. Once in a while, he takes one of his old sketchbooks. One of those big, say black cover.
Well, I'll give you an example actually here.
Yeah, and he'll take the whole sketchbook and put it up on eBay because he these things grow like weeds around his house.
Yeah, I've got even with selling these things off, I still have about 36 of these things laying around. I've got an entire box full of these things out in the carport, and I need to start making room. So I'm going to be putting stuff up, and you'll get a chance if you want to buy really old, ancient work of mine.
Yeah. We're talking blackmail.
Yeah. But this is like 155 pages, and I'll put one of these guys up on eBay. Starting bid for one of them will be about $75, $80. That doesn't include shipping or insurance. But I put these guys up, and I was putting these up last year, and I'll probably get back in the swing of doing this. Like I say, now tax season's over and stuff like that. So we'll get the.
Baron, where did you get that bag?
This bag, this fine, wonderful bag.
I got. Or do you mean the one for your?
This one right here? This I got at University Art. This is actually a Windsor
University Art. You should shop there.
A messenger bag. And this bag here, which I carry my iPad around in, this was actually this year a Christmas present that my wife made for me. It's actually got a really kind of cool Luna moon theme and everything like that. This was something she actually swallowed. She sewed up herself. I didn't, I'll just swallow. No, I don't even think they'll drink at the moment. Yeah. Now, also too, I got this at University Art. We got these as a clearance when I was still working there. This was usually an $85 bag. We were selling them for $10.
Yeah.
And
Windsor and Newton.
Excellent company. Excellent products.
Yep. Yeah, so let's see. So what do we got here? And this full of sketch right there.
Yep.
Let me see that book.
Sure.
I thought I saw something. It's like I just might razor that one out of it.
Well, wait a minute here now.
Yeah.
Now there's actually one piece in there that's going to get cut out on this one because Ari Coyote. This is the one I need to get for some stuff off. What was it that caught your tickled your fancy?
I'm looking. I thought it was just a glance. Not that one. Well, that was good. That was the
Marina.
Yeah, Marina. Now this isn't the one, but yeah, did you ever put this up on
Yeah.
DeviantArt? Okay.
Yeah, it was on DeviantArt.
So I don't recall that one.
And oh, by the way,
the Deep Six.
I'm doing a color of that.
Oh yes, he's going to do a color of.
You can see a better image of that on the my DeviantArt. If you go to the Deep Six gallery, I've actually got a sub gallery for it. Shall we begin negotiations?
Would you like to have dinner tonight?
Yeah. By the way, Ari, you're going to be getting when you get your piece, you're going to be getting actually 2 sketches on the other side. You're going to decide how you want to split it because the piece you paid for. La 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 la. La 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 la. Where is that? Come on, where is that? Come on. This has got all the ones of Carousel doing the rain dance too. But you're gonna have to decide whether you see you can't probably see it very well because it's very, very light. That's the one you want, and you're also gonna be getting the Big Mac John Cantor Ramirez because it's on the other side. So I'll get that off and sent out to you packaged up. I'll have to be a little careful because this can't go in the usual flat rate envelopes because it's 11 by 14. But we'll get this out along with some other stuff.
Yeah, that would have to go into the priority mail mail your brick collection boxes.
Well, yeah, that or basically I'll do the 4-ply of
One
cardboard.
needs bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing. Yes, it absolutely is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. The end of the streams are always like, oh no, and one more thing.
Yes. So.
And another thing.
Yeah. Oh, what sort of pencil do I use? For all this drawing tonight, and actually in this sketchbook right here, I'm using a Koh-i-Noor Rapidomatic mechanical pencil. It's 0.5 millimeter, and I load it with Pentel 2B lead, which is generally the softest mechanical pencil lead you can find. They make 4B now, and I do have one pencil in my studio that I keep loaded with that, but for probably 90% of all my sketching and drawing that you see, everything you see on DeviantArt, I'm posting on Tumblr, on Twitter, this little pencil right here makes it happen. For it. And so I guess, it is after 9:30. We're actually going a little bit past tonight. But I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. And I really want to thank all my patrons. If it wasn't for your guys' support, I could not have done this. I'm coming up on my 2-year anniversary in May. 2 years ago, I will have said, hey,
You became a complete professional artist.
Yes. I make a living now based off my work and basically doing things that you guys like. And especially for all my patrons, I hope you're enjoying the current Dream Arc. There's going to be a lot more stuff going up every day now for tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So this is a one long continuous run through that's happening.
Check early, check often.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks. So the next stream is going to be...
Yes, that's the other thing. This is going to be my 4th week in a row having done a stream. And there are some things that are happening around my place that I need to take care of as far as, cleaning, helping my wife do certain things. And then in the first weekend of May, many of you may know, that is free comics. You go to a comic book shop, and Saturday you can get a free comic. And my wife has been asked to appear at a local comic book shop and sign and talk to people and everything like that. And, she has done an awful lot for me. And supporting and being very supportive of me doing the streams and whatnot. So I want to be there that weekend, to be in her corner to basically help promote her. If she promotes me, I'm going to help promote her.
The long and short of this is... 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, you'll see us in 3 weeks.
Although keeping a close eye on his Twitter because there's probably going to be a digital stream between now and then. We don't want to leave you guys hanging for 3 weeks.
Nah, well, we'll get you some time. You can listen to me babble on. It'll be a lot more improv. It'll be just looking at my Cintiq tablet and me goofing around, still trying to figure out how to do digital art. But
yep. Okay. Oh. Solution for eShops. Well, again, we're just looking for
feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And probably did raise a point. That's one of the reasons we're asking. Is it does make the way things are right now is a little bit difficult for Europeans. So if you start putting things up at varying times, et cetera, or maybe even tweeting in advance, hey, there's something going to be going up at. Then that might make things a little bit easier for some folks.
I might say, okay, fine, tomorrow at this time, these things will, and I can tweet that. Now, that means you're going to have to follow me on Twitter. I'm not going to be babbling this all over the place. I got other things I need to do with my life.
You'll babble on Twitter.
I'll babble on Twitter because I can do it quickly. So if you want to be on the inside scoop about this stuff, you want to know the skinny when things are happening, follow me on Twitter.
Exactly.
All right.
And now it is time to follow the food. Toxic asked earlier tonight. Brian is making a
luau.
Yes, a Polynesian pork dish where he's done his research on how things actually get cooked in Hawaii. So we're gonna have us some Hawaiian pork,
and it's gonna be tasty and it smells good. He made spam sushi earlier tonight, and we destroyed it. I'll be posting photographs of that on Twitter actually in a few minutes.
All righty. Okay, folks, we will see you then in 3 weeks, and you will see Baron's art in somewhat less than that. Follow the trader. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
Good night.